pitchside presentation that Mickey Gray was telling us about a moment ago has just happened. It involved former Sunderland players, including Mickey. It's a presentation to Sunderland legend, FA Cup winning goalkeeper Jim Montgomery. If you've never seen his saves against Leeds in the 1973 FA Cup final, then take some time at some point to check out the highlights of the game. You'll find them online. It will absolutely take your breath away. And bear in mind, Sunderland were a second-tier side. I heard somebody say the other day there was a vote for the greatest FA Cup shock of all time, and they said it was Wimbledon beating Liverpool in the 88 final. Wimbledon were a Premier League side then. I'm not having that at all. That Sunderland victory over Leeds, who were dominant at the time, that has got to be more of a shock than Wimbledon beating Liverpool.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think also with these things, you've got to remember the age of people that are actually voting. They probably never even remember Leeds being that dominant. So, yeah, wonderful to see old players getting the credit that they deserve, and the fan base have been excellent as well. You get all the old pros turn up, because in the game you respect it, but when you get 46,000 like this making a noise if the goals just went in, that must be lovely for him. So fair play to Sunderland and for the man himself getting the credit he deserves.
There's a Montgomery suite here at the Stadium of Light. He's a regular here. They absolutely adore him, and any wonder given that clean sheet at Wembley in 1973. There's a statue to the manager Bob Stokoe outside. I was looking for the statue of Darren Bent after his consolation goal in the 5-1 defeat at Newcastle in the derby. I was at that game and can't find that statue of Darren Bent anywhere.
You're a nasty man.
Just saying.
Nasty
just saying.
Man.
I saw it downstairs. It was a beach ball just next to
Well, listen, here we go with the tifo away to our right, being lifted in front of the Sunderland fans, and of course it's a black cat, and that messaging till the end, that has become the Sunderland mantra under Regis Labrise, with Dan Hill as captain this season at the Stadium of Light. The claws are out, the fangs are showing. Sunderland mean business, and they will own this stadium tonight. I've been in the away end here watching my team. You're high up in the goals. We could just about see some banners. We can't really see Coventry fans. They're that high up in the top tier away to our left, Troy. Unfair on Coventry. Sunderland turn it to their advantage.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not about being fair now. It works in both favours either team. You can either be Coventry and be in a situation where you're like, okay, this is the case now where we're going into the Lions' Den, backs to the wall, let's see who's going to stand up, let's see who's going to have it. Well, if I was to walk out now and see that black cat side till the end, I'll say, right, I'll be at the end, will you? That'll be my mentality. But for Sunderland, they won't care. This whole place is going to be like a gladiatorial coliseum. They're going to be walking into noise. Can these young players handle the pressure?
Well, that is to our rights. Red and white stripes in a mosaic behind that excellent tifo, I have to say. And we can reveal that the West Stand at the Stadium of Light is going to be renamed in tribute to Jimmy Montgomery, club legend, club icon, absolute darling of the fans here at the Stadium of Light. That is magnificent. And bear in mind, we're talking over 50 years ago, and yeah, it's the FA Cup and it's Sunderland. It means so much still to every single Sunderland fan. So here we go. The music has started. The drama is about to unfold in front of us. Guess what they're doing? They're watering the pitch. Again, Troy Deeney. Every single advantage Sunderland can get, they're trying to take it.
I don't mind it. I'm here for it. The noise is ramped up. The atmosphere is building. Weirdly, this classical music works. I was expecting some heavy metal. But look, the pyrotechnics are going off. The water is on the pitch. They're going to make sure, if they get an opportunity, they're going to turn it around and make sure that Coventry attack at the end with it, where this panther is to our right-hand side and get in that wet area. It's going to be a really interesting time. It's really, really looking forward to this, and thank you for you guys for having me.
This is Premier League. What we're witnessing, what we're bringing to you live on Talksport right now, it's Premier League. It's box office. But they've got to earn the right to be in the Premier League and take this atmosphere, this stadium and these fans to the Premier League. And out to stop them tonight are Coventry City. Blades await at Wembley. This will be a memorable night at the Stadium of Light. Black Cats or Sky Blues. Sunderland 2-1 up facing Coventry. Feel feel the noise. Here's your commentary team. Former Premier League captain Troy Deeney, alongside Jim Proudfoot.
Thank you, Adrian. And we are ready to go. A very good evening to you. It's remarkable that in the thick end of 40 years of playoff action, with its legacy of extraordinary games, wonderful stories and indelible memories, that only one side has ever overcome a first leg home defeat to reach the championship final. And the manager that masterminded that success, Frank Lampard, 6 years on, sends his charges out to try and emulate that feat. And what happened on that stunning night at Ellen Road in 2019, and everything it entailed with its revenge for Spygate, has no bearing on tonight. These different players at a different club. But when you've got a man telling you that he's done it before, it might just mean a little bit more when he tells you that it can be done again. But Sunderland have already bucked the narrative in this tie. They came into it on the back of 5 straight league defeats, which was perceived as an end-of-season collapse that would completely debilitate their playoff challenge. Not a bit of it. Happy to cede possession. They took their rare chances when they came, and their late gift-wrapped winner has them in the box seat tonight. I'm told the training over the last couple of weeks has been better than at any previous time over the course of the campaign. Well, the more cynical Black Cats fans will point to a horrendous record in this fixture. But the place at Wembley is theirs to lose unless Frank Lampard can mastermind lightning striking twice. These are the teams: Sunderland, Patterson in goal, Hume, Ballard, O'Nien and Sirkin, Roberts, Bellingham, Neal and Lefay, with Mayenda and Isidore up front, Wilson in goal for Coventry, Van White, Thomas, Kitching and De Silva, Grimes and Sheaf, Sakamoto, Rodoni and Mason Clark, and Wright, and Andy Madley, who took charge of last season's FA Cup final, is the referee. On the benches for Sunderland, Mepham, Kjelda, Brown and Abdul Samad, Jones, Mundell, Watson, Rigg and Moore. For Coventry, Binks, Bidwell, Latibeaudiere and Eccles, Allen, Patterson, Sims, Thomas Asante and Collins. Coventry have won the toss and they turned Sunderland around. It was interesting that the half the pitch away to our right was more heavily watered. Coventry elected to attack into that half in the first half drawing.
Yeah, just want to see whether who goes and gets the ball. Yeah, you're right, because I was just thinking maybe Cov said they wanted the ball and Sunderland has spun them around. So Coventry obviously don't know that this side of the pitch was watered last. But I think all of this goes out the window now at this moment, Jim. This is who could be composed. Your first 5 or 6 minutes here will feel like 45 minutes. I've been in these games you play. You're running around, you're knackered, you look up, there's 10 minutes gone. You're thinking, how am I going to get to half-time? But then you settle down and that second win comes in. Really looking forward to it.
A bit like walking up those stairs. There's nothing like these games, a playoff semi-final on a warm, cloudless spring night. Two closely matched teams who know how precariously their season is poised. For one, it's Wembley. For the other, it's game over, their hard work up in smoke. Sunderland, Coventry, a classic in the making. And if tonight's winners can beat Sheffield United, they will be back in the Premier League. Coventry sky blue shirts, white shorts, kick from left to right, attacking the south stand here at the Stadium of Light in Monk Wearmouth, just the other side of the river from the city centre. An early set-piece opportunity as Grimes swings one towards the far post. Bobby Thomas going up for that, and that was offside. It's a free kick to Sunderland on the edge of their own penalty area. The atmosphere has just been exceptional, not just over the last 20 minutes, but over the last 3-4 hours. You turn up to a game and it really, you can tell everything that it envelops, everything that it means. The whole city is bouncing. Yeah,
absolutely. Adrian said it in the build-up to this. This is Premier League. I go one better. This is football. This is what football's all about. It doesn't matter what league you're in. Fans are passionate, players are passionate. Really, really, I feel honoured to be here, Jim. Genuinely do.
Coventry in possession. We're glad to have you. Ball over the top. It's a little bit too long and it rolls all the way through to the Sunderland goalkeeper Patterson, who was in the Sunderland side that won the League One playoff final back in 2022. It's the only previous playoff campaign that they've won. This the 9th that they've had. They've certainly got a lot of practice, this set of players, of getting to the end of season circus. They've made it to 5 playoff campaigns in the last 7 seasons now. Coventry only 2 in their entire history, but in both previous ones they have won the away leg and made it through to the final. Are they going to be able to replicate that again here? Bobby Thomas has got it and misses Sakamoto with a relatively simple pass that he drilled with plenty of pace, but behind the Japanese winger and straight out of play for a throw that will be taken on the Sunderland left-hand side by Dennis Cirkin. It's 0-0, 2 on the Sunderland on aggregate.
And there's the nerves already, Jim. Simple pass, 5-yard pass, which Coventry have been doing for the last 6 months really well, getting beyond the lines, pass it straight out of play. A lot of these players need to calm down. It's been a bit scrappy, hasn't it, at the start of this game, Jim? And you just feel that the guys just need to settle down. Maybe it's one big tackle, I don't know, maybe a little bit of quality, but at the moment it's 2 passes and it's a turnover every time.
First chance for Coventry to try and get their foot on the ball. Mason Clark bringing it forward down the left-hand touchline. And put out a play for a throw that is swiftly taken over on the Coventry left-hand side by De Silva, keeping Bidwell out of the team at left-back again. Launch forward here towards Hadji Wright. Cleared. Second ball won by Grimes, turning it back for Sheaf. And now Ben Sheaf will tiptoe his way towards the edge of the penalty area, but 4 Sunderland players converged on him. Able to stop him, they'll work it forward quickly. Isidore, the layoff out towards the right-hand side. Sunderland bringing forward LaFaze in space, but they've lost possession in the heart of the midfield, and Radoni, such a calming influence, stick his foot on the ball and turn it down the left-hand side, where a slightly late sliding challenge comes in on Ben Sheaf. The referee thought that was okay, and it's going to be a throw to Sunderland, 15 yards inside their own half.
Really high-tempo start. Just noticed something, Jim, a little tweak. We've had you right playing through the middle. Sunderland are really staying narrow. They don't want it to be expansive, so they're allowing the big diag out to Sakamoto. That's something that'll develop over time, because we've had you right being through the middle. They can't leave him 1v1. A is quicker, B is stronger. So a little tactical tweak already from Sunderland, allowing the outside of the pitch. So it's going to be really important for Coventry to come out onto this right and left hand side and allow the wingers to be 1v1, but they've got to be deliberate when they're doing it. And Sunderland have already shown you they're going to be compact and try and hit on the counter-attack with the 2 boys up top, Mayenda and Isidore.
So the ball out of play for a throw on the Sunderland right-hand side. Work forward and it's cut out by Thomas. When you're making that point, it's just looking at the full-backs. So Hume on the right-hand side and Cirkin on the left, and neither of them were defending the width of the penalty area. So it was, sort of 30 yards, 35 yards between them, no more than that. So plenty of space for Coventry in wide positions, but that, as Troy is saying, to deal with the threat of Wright going through the middle. It's Sunderland that have possession. Ball work back towards Dan Neal. Neal finding Bellingham. Bellingham turning it nearly to his left-hand side. And here's Luke O'Nien coming forward. Nobody more experienced in terms of playoff action in this tie than he. It's his 12th playoff game for Sunderland. He's won more than half of the previous 11. Just a draw will do the Black Cats tonight. Ball played out towards Trey Hume on the Sunderland right. His cross inside the penalty area. His mistakes. LaFay! And he's blazing over the top left-hand corner.
You see that real build-up from Sunderland. Every time they get into wide areas, they're just flipping the ball in the box. They're going to say to Coventry, you've got to deal with everything. They're playing the percentage game. And as you see there, a little header from Thomas. It bounces through. Touch from LaFay. But as it's coming down, you just want him to let the ball drop a little bit more, Jim. Snatches at it. Shanks it just high, wide and ugly, unfortunately. But again, more signs that Sunderland have got a simple game plan. Be tight, compact. Every opportunity you get, whip that ball in the box, make this Coventry backline defend.
7 minutes gone. 0-0. Still Sunderland with the aggregate lead after their late winner, dramatic late winner, down at the CBS on Friday night. Coventry winning back in the midfield, and it's turned back towards Liam Kitching. You're listening to Sunderland against Coventry in the EFL The Game Day live on Talksport with McDonald's. Order McDelivery on the app and get rewards points. 18 plus participating restaurants, delivery fees and terms apply. See mcdonalds.com. Thomas plays it back for Grimes. just dropped deep and split the centre halves, then works it forward towards Bobby Thomas again. Sakamoto in space on the right. Try to roll it down the right-hand side of the penalty area for Van Ewijk instead, but that one was easily cut out by Sirkin. Coventry win it back, and then win a throw, which they'll take about 20 yards inside the Sunderland half, 0-0.
Sunderland already being excellent defensively. That structure's already set. How long can Coventry keep just prodding? They're trying to go through the middle. As I just alluded to earlier, the space is on the outside, so they need to go from the left to the right and come back out on that left-hand side. Switch the play quicker. At the moment, it's a little bit too deliberate trying to go through the middle, and Sunderland are going to be comfortable with that. When you play the 4-4-2, you stay in the middle of the pitch. You can see the outside of the pitch, and Coventry, unfortunately, at the moment, play through the middle.
The Sky Blues have it again. Grimes working to his right-hand side for Thomas, the dark-haired former Burnley defender. Into the feet of Van Ewijk. He'll be desperate to impress tonight on his 100th appearance for the Sky Blues after that back pass that he sold short in the 88th minute at Coventry on Friday night. Ball over the top here for Haji Wright, but misdirected, and it rolls all the way through to the right-hand side for Anthony Patterson. You with Talksport? We've got every playoff game for you on the Talksport network, and also a very good afternoon to you if you're listening in North America on Sirius XM FC across the United States and Canada. Jim Bradford and Troy Deeney talking you through the action, 0-0 and 2-1 on aggregate to Sunderland, playing for the right to meet Sheffield United in the playoff final, which you'll be able to hear right here a week on Saturday.
Sunderland will be really happy with his start, Jim. Coventry forcing it, looking a bit tight. That's two long balls. There should be simple clipped out to the far side, shanked straight through to the goalkeeper. They're just taking all the sting out of this Coventry attack. Say to you want to break us down, we're going to be here till the end, as that wonderful message is. But I just feel that at the moment, this first 10 minutes, this is played perfectly into Sunderland's hands. They need to be a little bit better on the ball themselves going forward, but they know Coventry have to break us down, so all the pressure's on Coventry.
Something we were talking about in the build-up is that the way that the Sunderland fans would deal with the game being 0-0, if it was quite a static performance from their team, albeit static deliberately in a bid to soak up the pressure as they are doing now, it's a difficult balance to get right. Not that Lefay set out aside to entertain tonight. There's much more to it than that. It's merely about getting through. Here's Mason Clark, though, left-hand side of the penalty area, checking back, chipping it inside the penalty area, looking for right. 09 with a good header away. And then the subsequent header back in is watched wide by Patterson and out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, just to allude to your point, though, Jim, if they get in like they just did Coventry down that left-hand side, if they cross it and they get a goal, it just feels like, well, how will Sunderland go again? You set up defensively, it's really hard to then go offensively after that. I think if you go with an intention to be press high, get after it, and then sink back in, it's more easier to do than vice versa. So be interested to just see how Sunderland react if something negative happens. At the moment, they'll feel comfortable, and this fan base is getting up for literally any cross, any tackle, even when the linesman puts his flag up like he just did now.
Haji Wright isn't aware that the flag has gone up, and he and Luke 09 were both chasing. Wright had been flagged offside about 6 or 7 seconds before that. You can't hear yourself think here at the Stadium of Light. So they've got no chance of being able to hear the whistle of Andy Madley and react to it. Just one last thought about the way that Sunderland are approaching this and ceding the width to Coventry. It is a Coventry side who've scored most goals from crosses and headers than any other team in the EFL this season. So is it a slightly high-risk strategy to play it like that?
Yeah, it is a little bit, but I think what Frank's got this Coventry team doing is trying to play through the line, so they're not conceding the little slipped balls. And if you look with Dan Ballard and also...
There's a mistake in the midfield by Sheaf. A sliding challenge on the edge of the penalty area. Referee says it was a dive by Isidore. Now is he going to book it? Yes, he is. Free kick to Coventry, 5 yards outside the penalty area.
What a great call that is from referee Madley. That's a blatant dive. You can see that from here. I don't actually know why he dives Isidore, because he's through. He's got the pace and the power to go and get into goal, but for some reason decides to just try and nick a little cheap foul. It's poor from Coventry slipping off defensively, but Isidore no need to go down. Well done, referee, because in this atmosphere it would be very easy to book the Coventry defender there. Great refereeing.
10th yellow card of the season for Isidore, administered there by Andy Madley. Now Isidore is in the middle as well, with Mayenda coming forward inside the penalty area. Sky blue shirts all around him, and he ran down the cul-de-sac. And the Spaniard couldn't get across in. Coventry will get it away. Out towards Mason Clark over on the far touchline. Played back by him for Sheaf. His high ball forward return by Dan Ballard, who's got positive playoff experience in the past when he was on loan at Blackpool from Arsenal. They won the League One playoff final. Sunderland have it with Bellingham winning it back in the heart of the midfield. Will this be his last game in red and white stripes here on Wearside? Mistake by 09 with a crossfield ball that almost fell for Mason Clark. Sunderland win the seconds, get it back, and then as it's played forward, there's no doubt that was a foul. Mayenda pulled down on the edge of the centre circle, and it's a free kick to Sunderland. They look to take it quickly. Isidore making the run, and he's got there inside right channel. Thomas has gone with him, but maybe just switched off. A little bit tardy in getting there. Isidore wins a throw that'll be taken over on that right-hand side for Sunderland, and Humes coming forward to take it 0-0.
Just feels like Sunderland have got that edge, doesn't it? Psychologically and physically, playing little quick ones. The two up front, of course, in all sorts of trouble. Just for me, with Mayenda, he's got to get better at that final decision, Jim. He's so quick, got so direct. But then once you've drawn in 2 or 3 players, give it to somebody else.
The block challenge inside the penalty area is a good one from Coventry City. And Mason Clark whacks it away. 09 can pick it up at the back. Dark-haired, thick-set defender. Making his way forward. Sirkin coming in off the left flank. It's run back by a combination of Sheaf and Sakamoto. Coventry will calm things down again with Matt Grimes. Troy was eulogising about in our build-up. Back towards Thomas. Thomas inside his own penalty area. Sunderland coming into this on the back of that really poor late-season run that has been well discussed and largely written off on the basis of the performance on Friday night. But I think it's worth repeating, in so much as they have lost the last 3 games that they've played here at the Stadium of Light. Only 4 defeats here all season. But they are unbeaten against top 6 opposition on their own ground, which could prove significant if they can still say that at 10 o'clock. They'll be at Wembley. Here's Luke 09 for the Black Cats. Taking the ball, calmly turning it back to his goalkeeper. And neither goalkeeper's had anything to do at all so far, with 14 minutes gone at 0-0.
No, it's like I say, it's been a perfect first 15 minutes for Sunderland. Coventry have played into the trap a little bit. They've got the 2 strikers causing trouble, but a little bit worried for Thomas. He started this game really poorly for Coventry. Passed the ball out of play twice. The 3 diags he's tried to hit have gone straight to Sunderland. If I was Frank, I'd just be a little bit worried that he's maybe this moment's been a little bit too much for him in this first 15 minutes. Try and get into him and calm him down a little bit.
Well, they have got Lewis Binks on the bench, the former Spurs academy man who made his name playing football in Italy for Bologna. So it could bring him on at centre-half at some stage if they think that Thomas is struggling. Thomas has reached a playoff final before, alongside Kitching, his centre-half partner tonight, when they were both at Barnsley. Sunderland have possession. It's an attempt to turn from Lefay. Van Ewyk's won it back. Sheaf calms it down. Sakamoto in behind him, receives the ball from Sheaf twice. And now goes back towards Thomas. Let's have a look at his distribution here. Or just walk it out from the edge of the penalty area and calmly slot it to his left. But actually was behind Kitching. Yeah. Even then, it was a routine pass that he just didn't quite get the weight right on.
Yeah, it's just a case of emotionally he's all over the place. Not whether he's good enough to do it. It's just somebody now saying to him, right, get your breathing down, go back to being normal, just play your game. Because this high pressure moment, players do weird things. They just go into this weird mode of trying to do something weird and wonderful.
Coventry haven't really been able to get Radoni into the game yet. He's in possession now. He's played it back through the centre circle for Grimes. Still 0-0 and 2-1 to Sunderland on aggregate here on Wearside. Thomas, Van Ewijk, and back for Grimes again. It's taking it out of the centre circle. Only then does Mayenda come and engage. They're happy for Coventry to have possession in this area, about 15 yards outside the penalty area. Sliding challenge from Bellingham almost diverted the ball to Mason Clark. Then Sunderland, having survived that, work it forward and pass it straight to a man in sky blue, who's Ben Sheath. And out he goes towards the left-hand side again for Mason Clark. They're queuing up for it in the middle. He's gone for goal. And it's comfortably claimed by Patterson.
Yeah, but it's good for Mason Clark. Little step over on that left-hand side. Cuts in on his right foot. 20 yards out, running away from goal. Still gets good purchase, good power. But he's straight at Patterson. And it's the first shot of the game with any real intent. But again, you're seeing it in the build-up there. Coventry trying to go through the middle. Sunderland setting traps. It's Joe Bellingham this time who cuts it out. He just needs Isidore to stand. For some reason, Isidore tries to run with Joe Bellingham. Got 3 players around him. As a target man, you've got to identify the moment, look after the ball. He doesn't. It allows Coventry to build on. It's really finely poised this. It feels like Coventry has started to come into the game, and Sunderland has started to get a little bit nervy in this first, 17, 18 minutes.
Which is still 0-0, so still advantage Sunderland. Coventry beginning, as Troy was saying, to exert a modicum of control. They've got the ball inside their own 6-yard box with goalkeeper Ben Wilson, who was at Sunderland as a youngster, although he didn't play a game for the first team some 10-12 years ago. Ballard heads the ball away. Rodoni's got it. He can turn in the midfield. And you know from experience what it's like watching a playoff game when you've got some skin in the game. There's absolutely nothing like it as Coventry win the first corner. It was, I think we saw that when Mickey Gray was speaking to us earlier. You could tell that this means an awful lot to him as a Sunderland boy. And Mickey on commentary duty tomorrow night, incidentally, as the League One playoffs resume. He'll be at Edgeley Park for Stockport against Leyton Orient alongside Mark Wilson and the Stockport manager Dave Challoner, who's had a huge amount of success in his managerial career. He's on breakfast on Talksport tomorrow morning as well. All the reaction to this. Coventry with the first corner, which came close to swinging out of play for a goal kick. It was then headed away. High ball back inside the penalty area, really deep. Killed beautifully by Rodoni at the back post. He's got Sakamoto behind him in support. Just used him as a decoy for a moment. Trying to go the long way round the defender, and it was brilliantly done. Sirkin denying him the opportunity to get a cross in. And he goes out of play for a goal kick that Patterson will take. 19 minutes gone and it's still 0-0.
Yeah, we just saw that little bit of quality as well from Rodoni, didn't you? As that ball gets lifted high and ugly into the box from Grimes after the second ball comes out, he just kills it, turns into the box again and tries to make something happen. Just thought for Coventry there, we spoke a lot about Grimes being unbelievably well, but for some reason he just has to do a little bit better with the play.
He's done well there as the ball threatened just to drop over the shoulder. Thomas getting it clear. And then O'Nien mops up in the left-back position, just comes across behind Sirkin and gets it away from Sheath. That puts it out of play for a throw that Van Ewijk will take. We were talking in the build-up, Troy, about the fact that Sunderland, with home advantages, they're right to do so, have moved the electronic adverts into the minimum distance away from the pitch. I think you've got to have, somebody said a 2.2 metres, so that's what, 7.5 foot runoff off the end of the pitch for the players' safety, but they've moved the hoardings in to try and stop Van Ewijk's long throw, and Coventry haven't won a throw in an advanced position. The groundsman will be furious. They've completely wasted their time at the moment.
Absolutely. I still think it's good from Sunderland, obviously a little bit of mind games, a little bit of tactical play, water in the pitch and all of that. But it's on Coventry to come here and handle the occasion. At the moment, it doesn't feel like they have. There was an opportunity there to play a throw in, and for some reason Sakamoto decided to take it and give a foul throw, which you could hear the ironic cheers for.
Well, Sakamoto, rather than letting Van Ewijk launch a long one inside the penalty area, elected to throw it short towards Van Ewijk, who was only 4 feet away, but it was a foul throw. And so Sunderland have a throw in the same position, or at least the same position in theory. Sirkin is just wasting a little bit of time before taking this throw. Bellingham very cleverly using his body to turn away from Rodoni, and he's worked it out towards the Sunderland right-hand side. Still 0-0 here on Talksport and on Sirius XM FC. Good turn by Mayenda, coming forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Coventry backing off. Good save. Goalkeeper got down. Wilson got his feet to it to be able to kick it away. Ballard recycling it. Dan Neal with the ball over the top, and it's too long for Isidore, whose flying header became a really high tariff chance.
Ooh, that's a good man.
Now he's rolling around inside the 6-yard box. I'm not sure exactly what happened after the two players both went to try and get that ball which came through the penalty area.
Yeah, it just looked like as that ball come in, Isidore's gone at the back post, but Wilson, the goalkeeper, for some reason, just looks like he stands on him. There's no need for it. That's what the Sunderland players are reacting unkindly to, but it just looks like he stands on him at the end here.
Well, the referee very quickly on the scene to try and calm things down. Well, Wilson was just watching, really, as the two of them went for it. And they came across towards Isidore, and it was very strange. It was as though he decided that he wanted to try and hurdle him for no apparent reason, and made contact with him in doing so. He's back on his feet. Isidore is okay. He's going to be able to continue, and Andy Madley's taken a sting out of the situation by just having a word with all involved. Nothing more than that.
No, it's just unnecessary, because it's a good game, but if you just see the highlights there, see? He just leans on him, he studs into his knee, then knees him in the chest. Absolutely for no reason. And thankfully for Coventry, there's no VAR, because they'll definitely be having a look at this. It's 2 or 3 seconds after the ball's gone. Look, there's no need for it.
And Coventry, I think, have got away with one there. Sliding challenge coming in. It's getting really feisty. The first foul was from a Coventry player in the midfield, and then the referee attempted to play the advantage after the challenge from Sheaf. There was another poor challenge which came, and that one was on Sakamoto. And Andy Madley's got his work cut out.
Yeah, he's got to handle not only the occasion, but this fan base as well. Every time a Sunderland player goes down, they're going to be calling for a yellow card. I actually thought that was maybe one he could have let go there. Just they were a little bit late, but they were fair tackles. But Sheaf's in the book. He has to now be careful going into the rest of this game.
Dan Neal back on his feet. And Sunderland will take the free kick with 09 inside their own half. So Sheaf in the book, his 8th yellow card of the season. Isidore's already been booked for diving. We feel that Ben Wilson got away with one for trampling on Isidore off the ball a couple of minutes ago. 09 taking this free kick and swinging it. The high long diagonal ball out towards the right-hand touchline, the Sunderland right. Recycled well into the feet of Bellingham, who then makes a dynamic run inside the penalty area, which was well tracked. Kitching is able to get it away. It's not the best ball back to him, but that one is then cleared as well by Grimes. Rodoni over on the far touchline. As he won a throw, he has. Sunderland wanted a free kick or a throw, but it is a Coventry throw that has been given over on that far touchline. Or in fact, a free kick. And for a foul on Rodoni. Taken by De Silva. Coventry in a position to bring it forward in a game that has seen very little in the way of constructive goalmouth opportunity. Only one shot on target for each team so far. Coventry on a night where they've had 62% possession and a chase in the game. They've only had one attempt at all on or off target.
Yeah, and all the possession, Jim, has just been in front of them. It's been in the middle third, as we'd call it. It's quite safe and quite okay for Sunderland. I still think they need to move the ball from left to right a bit quicker. It's a bit too slow, too many touches. I'd expect Grimes to go and get on the ball and start dictating the tempo. He's done really well at slowing it down whenever Sunderland have a moment, but he needs to up it as well now to get Coventry going up from an attacking point of view.
Grimes to Sakamoto and back again. Sheaf out towards Van Ewijk. And a sliding challenge on him was a good one from Lefay, who was able to flick it into Van Ewijk and out for a throw, which will be taken on the Sunderland left. Coventry coming into this on the back of 9 wins in 16, which sounds a really impressive record, but you look at their away form, it's not been great at all. They've only taken 1 point from the last 5 matches. that they played away from home. They had that really poor late season run with some significant away defeats against teams in the bottom six. And this one a tougher prospect altogether. It was 2-2 when the sides met here earlier this season. Sunderland 2-0 up, blew the lead, and then won 3-0 the Sky Blues when the two sides met in the regular league season at the CBS about 8 weeks ago with a Hadji Wright hat-trick. Before Sunderland got their revenge with their first win over the Sky Blues in any fixture for 18 years on Friday night. Sunderland have got it here on the right-hand side of the penalty area. It's not square towards Isidore, trying to turn and get a shot and he can't. Coventry defending mob-handed, able to get it away. Ball play falling towards Hadji Wright, it's gone to ground, won a free kick. And it's a free kick that's been taken quickly with a good reverse ball out towards Mason Clark. Can't find a way past Hume. The white boots have blocked it. Has gone out for a throw which will be taken on the Coventry left. And this is going to be Van Ewak's first opportunity to see exactly how close those perimeter hoardings are as he prepares to launch a long throw inside the box. 0-0.
Yeah, I think on the opposite side he's actually got the normal distance. It's just on this side nearest to us where he'd have a bit more of a run off. They pulled it closer. Again, I was just writing in my notes here, Jim. Hadji Wright needs to do more. He showed there when he looks after it a little bit, they can build off him. Really interested to see how Sunderland deal with this long throw, though.
So Coventry have got 4 players near the penalty spot. Mason Clark comes out of the 6-yard box. The ball thrown in, and it's gone back out towards Van Ewak. Now Sheaf with a cross. Easily chested down by O'Nien, and Sunderland might be able to bring it away, but Bellingham ran into trouble. And as a consequence, Isidore, I beg your pardon, ran into trouble, and as a consequence, Coventry have got it back. Coming forward again is Van Ewak. Mason Clark coming outside the penalty area, working it out to the Coventry left-hand side. De Silva with a chance to deliver in towards the near post. And there's nothing that Ballard can do than volley that away and out for Coventry's second corner of the night.
Poor from Coventry on that turnover. As you said, Isidore, the Sunderland players had run past him because they thought there was a counter-attack. He loses the ball straight away. Coventry have an opportunity to go forward. And it's that little mix-up between what Frank Lampard wants in terms of build-up play and having that IQ to go and get a goal. They just miss an opportunity. It was a simple pass into Mason Clark. It would have been in on 1v1.
In front of the huge Sunderland flag over on that far touchline, the corner is taken. It's cleared to Sakamoto, who's dragged across it and sent an effort 2 yards wide of the near post. 0-0 and still 2 on Sunderland on aggregate.
I think that little passage of play there is indicative of where this Coventry team is. Really poor corner from Grimes, high, loopy. No one's ever going to score from that. As it comes out to Sakamoto, he snatches at the shot, drags it horribly wide. There's no real quality in this front line of Coventry. We know they've got the ability, but it's just like the occasions just getting to these front players. They're not expressing themselves the way they should.
Wilson tried to deal with the ball back inside his penalty area and put under pressure. He had to eventually come out and fly hack it away for a throw that will be taken on the Sunderland left-hand side by Sirkin. Alafay. The crowd always lights up whenever he's in possession. He's ended up giving a free kick away with a push on Grimes on the edge of the penalty area. Coventry take that quickly and get it forward towards Radoni. Radoni wanted to slip the ball right down the right-hand touchline for Sakamoto. It was difficult with players around him to be able to work it down that thin corridor. Went back infield instead for Sheaf. Only just got it past my end to find Kitchen. Played out of the Coventry left-hand side now for De Silva. The left-back making his way forward. Humes dealt with him really easily. Knocked it away. Now reverse ball down the touchline for Dan Neal. Coventry have won it back. Sheaf, late challenge coming in, play goes on. Radoni getting it back, gets to the byline, able to fire a ball in against not a great delivery at all, too low. Ballard knocks it away. Then as Coventry try and bring it forward, I think it's Sheaf has had his ankles tapped, and it's a free kick to Coventry, level with the edge of the Sunderland penalty area. Now the foul by Hume, he's been booked. And this is a really good chance.
I think it's Roberts. I think it's Roberts. Because of the foul just before, the one that you heard me in the background gasping at, he tried to intercept the pass and ends up taking out Sheaf, and then 10 seconds later takes Sheaf out again. So another yellow card. Just to go back to that little cross there from Radoni. It's by the byline. You're taught this is a 10-year-old. There's 3 crosses you can do when you get to the byline: near post, stand it up, or cut back. And if the near post is blocked off like that, just watch. It's impossible. Just stand it. You got Hadji right. Just let him go and attack it. Really poor.
Sunderland with everybody back to defend this inside the penalty area. Thomas in a deliberately offside position at the moment. He's gambling that the Sunderland defence is going to drop back in. It's fired in. Heads go up for it. Thomas got something on it, but it's gone out the right-hand side of the penalty area. Comes back for Sakamoto. He's clipped it in. Header down. Can anybody react? Sunderland hammer it away with Circuit. He's getting nervy in there for Sunderland now. Sakamoto picking it up. Coventry fans liking what they see. Van Ewijk, and now players have gone down. So Sunderland man's gone down holding his face on the edge of the penalty area after an incident off the ball, and the referee has stopped it, has given a free kick. Now there's a yellow card has been administered as well. Bobby Thomas, the player that just caught his man. It was just shenanigans off the ball out of the referee's view. It's good officiating to see that stopped it as a free kick.
Yeah, I think it's his linesman on the opposite side in the Coventry half. As that ball's developing, the ball's trying to get to the back post, and Patrick Robertson used all his experience, not letting Bobby Thomas come and attack it. Bobby Thomas just left an arm on him. He's lucky to not be sent off, to be totally honest with you. But Pat's played that a little bit smart, just got a foul. But you talk about that little bit of quality in the box there. It's a lovely ball in from Sakamoto. Bobby Thomas again have used his name 3 or 4 times today. Free header, ends up shanking his header back across the 6-yard box. Falls to Rodoni. He missed the ball. He's completely missed the ball. In those moments, your best players have to have a breath, have to be calm. That was an opportunity to get this Coventry team going and make this whole place really, really nervous. Big chance, Jim, big chance.
Sunderland have lost each of the last 3 they played here by a goal to nil, so it's 373 minutes of action here at the Stadium of Light without a goal, 6.25 hours. So you just wonder what effect it would have on the crowd, on the Sunderland players themselves, were Coventry to score first.
Absolutely. Just looking down there at Lebris, who's just telling his players to calm down. It's a simple pass there coming from Neil. He's got a pass into Isidore that he's tried to thread through, just gets it wrong. But it's a simple pass just out to Lefray. Neither team seem to want to hit the little diag and just allow their team to get out with pressure. They want to be too deliberate now. Maybe it's the Pep Guardiola version of football, but the diag is not a dying sport. Just hit it. We're looking at it now. It's in the right back position. Mason Clark on the opposite side is in. He's free. But they just ignore it every time.
Isidore picking up the ball on the left-hand side. He's tried to chip one over the top for Mayenda. Wilson had to come out and try and deal with that. It wasn't his best kick. Coventry do get it further forward, and then it's headed away by Sirkin out for a throw. To be taken on the Coventry right-hand side by Milan van Ewijk, and it remains 0-0 here on Talksport. Sunderland edging ever closer to Wembley and to Sheffield United. Now it's given away by Kitching, and it's 3 against 3 from halfway. Sunderland bring it forward. Kitching's been beaten as he's dived in. Thomas cutting across and has got a foot into, just flick it away from Mayenda's path. And De Silva will be able to clear for Coventry to do the rest. Helped on them by Mason Clark. Right, just stood watching it really. Was put it out of it, and put it out of it well by Dan Ballard. Ball comes into the feet of Bellingham. He's lost his, kicked it from one foot onto the other. And it's gone back Coventry's way. They have it now on the right-hand side with Wright, who's peeled out to a wider position. Sakamoto's in the middle. Wright firing a ball inside the penalty area. Past Sakamoto. Big chance for Rodoni, back in. Sakamoto leaning back on the edge of the 6-yard box. Turns it over the bar. But the good chances, they're not being taken, but they're falling Coventry's way.
Yeah, absolutely. For the first time, Hadji Wright looked more comfortable out on this right-hand side in that wide area. Whips a lovely ball into the box. He's bouncing through. Gets to Rodoni. Poor first touch. He should have a touch and shoot. Talk about it before the game. In the build-up, he's been excellent. But here, it just seems again that nervous tension's got into his body. Poor touch, poor shot across, and Sakamoto tries to make the best of it. Unfortunately, he hits it high, wide and ugly. But again, as you say, Jim, all fall into Coventry. Need a bit of a calmer head. This will be something that Frank wants to talk about at half-time, definitely.
Both of the League One playoff semi-finals are level after the first leg. Stockport against Leyton Orient. Thriller, very controversial. Charlton against Wickham. less than a thriller. Those games Wednesday and Thursday, the second legs, they both kick off at 8. They're both over on Talksport 2. Friday, we've got a choice of live Premier League action for you. Over on to Villa Spurs, 7:30 kick-off in the second city. And then Chelsea-Manchester United is an 8 o'clock kick-off here on Talksport. Also, playoff action Friday night. It's on the Talksport app. Let me point you that way. For Troy's old club, the Mighty Saddlers, taking on the Spyrites of Chesterfield. And that's an 8 o'clock kick-off on the Talksport app Friday. The second playoff semi-final second leg in League 2 is at Saturday lunchtime, Wimbledon against Notts County, and then the FA Cup final, Palace against Manchester City, Saturday afternoon at 4:30 on Talksport and on Sirius XM FC. Sunderland bringing the ball forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Van Awijk didn't know whether to commit himself or not. In the end, he didn't. It made it easy for Neil to venture further forward. Subsequent pass from Dan Neil was a poor one. The game getting increasingly stretched now as Coventry win it back, and Radoni can work it out to the left-hand side for Mason Clark. Haji Wright trying to find some space in the middle. Here's Radoni, can't get a cross in. It's just flicked off Ballard, who's done really well to get backfield that and knock it away. Sunderland bringing the ball forward, committing bodies forward, leaving space for Coventry on the counter-attack. Now it's vice versa. As the Black Cats bring him forward again. It's Mayenda inside the penalty area. Left-footed effort from him. And it hit Kitching and ricochets the safety for Coventry.
Well, that is the most infuriating free back and forth I've ever seen with nothing happening, Jim. I don't know what's going on. Literally, it's like run to one end, I'm going to lose the ball. You run the other end, I'll lose the ball, then we do it again. It's like watching my kids' basketball game. It's crazy. A little bit of quality just to be shown would be fantastic, wouldn't it? It would be really nice.
Is it the sense of occasion? Is it the nerves of the situation?
Of course it is. Of course it is. Again, I'm fortunate now. It's always easier to play the game when you're not actually playing it. But you just feel that Coventry have got the more quality in those forward areas.
Sakamoto with a high ball inside the penalty area, and he's flicked over the bar. What a chance. High cross came in towards the far post. And it was nodded down into a central area 3 or 4 yards out, and the Coventry player coming onto it got a touch. All he had to do was hit the target, he would have scored, and he's lifted it over the bar. Clearest opportunity so far, and Radoni spurned it.
I stand corrected. It's really poor. It's really, really poor. But it's good play again from Coventry down his right-hand side with Sakamoto. He cuts it on his left foot. There's a lovely little ball to the back post. Again, great header from Mason Clark. As he heads it back down, you just go to Radoni, just touch it forward. Unfortunately, as he tries to toe poke it in, he gets under the ball, high and handsome. Should score. It just feels like it's one of those games that once a goal goes in, it's just going to turn into chaos, and both teams are going to go after it. Frank Lampard will feel that his front four can do a lot more, but will be happy, weirdly, with where they're at, considering they're not playing great. Sunderland just being called in below us, and I feel like they're going to be like, how do we get more control of this game? They've had the opportunities. Again, comes to Mayenda, and just looking at my notes here, lacking quality. Really direct, really powerful, gets past people. When you want him to calm down and just have that little bit of quality to feel it into the corners, kind of falls over the ball. An excellent game with nothing happening, Jim.
That's a perfect description. It is an excellent game, and yeah, absolutely nothing is happening by and large. Although Jack Radoni really should have scored there. And in the form that he's in, 11 goal involvements in his last 16 games, he should have marked his 50th appearance for the Sky Blues with his 11th goal of the season. The stoppage, incidentally, is so that Anthony Patterson, the Sunderland goalkeeper, can be attended to. He got hurt in doing his best to put Radoni off. He did enough. He's okay. He's back on his feet whilst he was receiving medical treatment. The two managers both called their sets of players over. Coventry will be the happier, albeit that they're beginning to run out of time. I say beginning, there's still, 4 minutes to go in this first half, but Sunderland nearly halfway from the start of the game to getting to Wembley. I feel that if the pattern of play continues as it is, Coventry might score first. And that will completely change the dynamic of it. I tell you, you can probably sense it, that the atmosphere has changed significantly. And that the crowd, whilst not being silenced, there's not the vibrant, passionate Wearside support now. There's a lot of nerves from the 46,000 around us. Sheaf dispossessed in the midfield fairly. He thought he was fouled. Bellingham's done well. Cross comes into Silva across to block that and get it away. Mayenda goes down inside the D. Play goes on, and the ball drifts out of play, and it's going to be a throw. Lafay shepherding the ball out of play, so the Sunderland will get a throw 20 yards from the corner flag on their left-hand side. Still 0-0. 3 minutes to go to half-time here on Talksport. Still 2-1 to Sunderland on aggregate. Throw that Dennis Sirkin takes. Sakamoto is in there. I wonder, in his heart of hearts, who Chris Wilder would rather play at Wembley a week on Saturday. He would tell you that he doesn't care. I'm sure inwardly he has a preference. Throw taken by Sirkin down towards Lafay. That's well defended by Van Ewijk. And Lafay has gone down, having made an attempt to play that. He's rolled over the dead ball line. Ball's gone out of play for a goal kick. And Coventry have taken it. And only now is Lafay getting back to his feet and sprinting to get back in position.
It's amazing how quick you get recovery. Powers of recovery, isn't it, Jim, when your team starts shouting at you to get back in because they're on the counter-attack.
Coventry perfectly entitled to restart play there.
Absolutely.
And they have it now. Level the edge of the Sunderland penalty area. Over on the far touchline, the Coventry left. Mason Clark checks. So he doesn't deliver it the first time of asking, and then as he plays the ball back, it's ricocheted off. Robertson goes out for a throw, which will be taken on that Coventry left again with Van Ewijk, but not the lengthy setup for the long throw. It's taken short instead. Worked in towards Mason Clark, whose touch was poor. That allowed Sunderland the opportunity to win it back. Don't have possession back for long. Ben Sheaf saw to that. Now it will come forward. Sakamoto in space on the Coventry right. And now Thomas plays it to him. So the Japanese with an opportunity to work it past the marker towards Van Ewijk, whose ball inside the penalty area is cleared. Sunderland from very deep, 2 against 2. Coventry trying to get bodies back. Not too much in the way of support for Mayenda, who, when he played it towards Isidore, that was the only pass that was possibly on for him, because neither Neil nor Bellingham nor Lafay sprinted forward to join that counter, so it's easy for Coventry to negate. Then as they bring it forward, Radoni's fouled, and it's going to be a free kick to Coventry on their right-hand side, 0-0.
Yeah, I take your point there, Jim, about Isidore's the only pass, but you're 1v1 with a centre-back that you've already gone past in Kitchen. Just run him. You got half the pitch. Now just a feeling of just go and do it. And again, talking about Coventry just before that, with, down this right-hand side, the ball gets to the byline, and it's what I said 20 minutes ago. Just stand it to the back post. Again, they fire it near post, cleared. It's like now they've got this one stock thing that happens in their head. I get here, I fire it as hard as I can and hope someone scores.
Well, they've got a corner. It's their third of the first half, Coventry. Sunderland yet to win one. It's going to be Grimes to take it. Left-footed in-swinger from the former Exeter and Swansea man. Good jump by Mayenda to get it away. Cleared out as far as Van Ewijk. 4 from him to Sakamoto as we go to 3 minutes of added time. Another high ball inside the penalty area. Players from both sides go down. Ballard very quickly back on his feet. And the Coventry man is as well. There's Radoni. He's back in position, waiting for another delivery to come in from out wide. And he's headed it into the ground. It's bounced and gone over the bar. Well, he scored with a great header the other night. And he'll be disappointed. That's his second or third really good chance this evening.
Absolutely, Jimmy. He has to score. Has to score. On the other occasions, I'd say he has to hit the target. 7 yards out. It's one of those ones where both sets of players get attracted to the ball and he's standing still. He has to hit the target. Has to score. Very simple. Very simple header. Again, nerves. It's the only thing you can put it down to.
It's getting a little bit fraught. It's very tense. It's also goalless, which is music to the ears of Sunderland fans. I'm sure if you are a Sunderland supporter listening in, you're biting your nails, you're probably down to your knuckles. Such a nervous occasion, this. Coventry with the possession, with the better chances, can't find a way through. Possession 2/3, 1/3 in Coventry's favour. XG, they're still less than half a goal ahead for all the good opportunities that they have been able to fashion. Still the one shot on target, no more. They'll bring it forward again. We're in first half stoppage time. Just over a minute of that left. And Mason Clark has gone down. Thought he was fouled, fell on the ball and handled it, and the referee says, OK, free kick for handball to Sunderland, which they'll take in their right back position. And Patterson is going as slowly as he thinks he can get away with to go out and take this, because he wants to get Sunderland in at half-time at 0-0.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really poor from Mason Clark there. He's one of the better players for Coventry this half. Gets the ball 1v1. Again, go stretch your legs. Go and get up against Hume. Slows down and then weirdly just dives. There's no need to it. I think he knows that Roberts is on the yellow card. Maybe con the referee. Worked against him in that situation.
30 seconds of the first half to go. Patterson's taken the long free kick. It's headed away by De Silva and straight out for a throw that'll be taken over on the Sunderland right. And again, they're in absolutely no hurry to take it. It's almost as if they're thinking, well, OK, half-time, let's get in. Hear the half-time team talk, regroup. Still, the throw hasn't been taken. It is now by Hume into the feet of Roberts. The ball cleared by De Silva, returned by 09, and then headed by De Silva straight out towards the left-hand touchline. Ballard runs round it, keeps it alive, punts it forward. Kitching heads that away. Sheaf past the challenge of Neal in midfield. And the referee says half-time. Certainly Sunderland will be the happier to hear that half-time whistle. Good applause from the locals for their first side's performance. The Coventry fans, who we can't see on the upper tier of the North Stand away to our left-hand side, will be the happier with the way the game is going, but they're running out of time and will be concerned at their side's profligacy in front of goal. Rodoni particularly has missed 2 or 3 really good chances, and at half-time in the second leg it's 0-0 and still 2-1 to Sunderland on aggregate.
Yep, Sunderland heading to Wembley as we speak, but I think that Sunderland will be happier that it's half-time, Troy Deeney, because Coventry were coming more and more into the game. Very scrappy, wasn't it? First half of the first half, if you like, and there was some feisty tackles going in, and the Coventry keeper actually came through the ranks at Sunderland, Wilson. He possibly could have been carded had that been seen red-carded, but after all that, kind of settled down, and we had I thought, a really thrilling football match, but without the quality in terms of the end product. But no doubt, as the half wore on, Coventry were creating some good chances.
Yeah, absolutely. But as you know, Ed, this game's all about taking your chances. I think Sunderland will go in very happy because half the job is done. Coventry will feel that they can get better, but as that nervous tension keeps growing, they're going to keep missing these types of chances. It needs somebody to have that little bit of clarity, that little bit of quality to go, right, my moment now, score. It's fouled to Rodoni 2, maybe 3 times. That last one, that's bread and butter. For someone like me, that's bread and butter. As that's coming in, you're just thinking, what corner am I celebrating in? Because that's just head it and score.
Am I running all the way back to the other end to celebrate to the fans in the upper tier?
Well, you know me, I'm not running that far back. It's just one of the corners.
Rodoni might have done that. I think the problem is, I think Rodoni's problem is that we've highlighted him before the game.
Absolutely.
I was thinking,
absolutely.
On the way here, I was thinking, who should we have a look at from the Coventry team? Jack Rodoni, because he is that good, and so much has been said about him. But I think you said halfway through that first half, or maybe half an hour in, and I was writing almost exactly the same thing as you said. It big half-time team talk needed. Frank Lampard has to calm his attacking players down, because it wasn't that they were particularly bad, but they were just making the wrong decisions. Just like that Rodoni header, he just hasn't connected right with it.
Yeah, and I think the crosses for me are highlighted in there with Jim. When you're getting slipped down to the byline, again, it's very amateur stuff, but when you go in, it's right. The byline's here. You have 3 crosses. It's either fire it across the near post because you're ahead of the play, so you want your striker to come onto it. You either stand it to the back post, or if neither's options open, you cut back. You see Man City doing that a lot in the Premier League. And every single time they've picked the wrong option. It's like, don't fire it to the near post because there's 4 people there. Actually, do you know what, Aid? I'll try and kick it through 4 people, see if they'll let it go. It's like, but also on that though, Ed, it takes a Hadji right at that point, and I'm sure you've seen, and Jim's seen me over the years. If that cross isn't coming 1 or 2 times, you've got to let them know, I'm going to be here, so stand it up. That's a lot politer than I probably would have said it. But, you know, at that point, when you get to here, I'm going to be here, stand it up, let me go and attack the ball. I think that front 4 has been really, really poor for Coventry. I actually want to give a special mention to the 2 midfielders for Sunderland, Neil and Bellingham. I think they've handled the game really well. Loads of times where Job's come in to show the ball, dropped his shoulder, come out the other side, showed a bit of quality, and just calmed the game down. Both attacking teams will be disappointed, but defensively they'll both be very happy.
I want to highlight a couple of things as well, and it's not really necessarily spectacular, eye-catching, attacking stuff. Dan Neil was at the centre of one of them. If you remember early on, maybe half an hour in, there was a shot that Sakamoto dragged wide from the edge of the box. Yeah. He only dragged it wide because he had to take it quick, and he only took it quick because Dan Neil was charging out at him, leading by example, the captain.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, at the moment, you end up in that situation highlighting just how poor the striker's been in that situation. But it is because Dan Neil's got out to the ball. He's not got out throwing his arms about, hands behind his back, not giving it any easy opportunity, and then it's on the Coventry player to go and beat him. But I love what the Sunderland players are doing at the moment. They're getting close, maybe 2 or 3 yards away, then they're hitting the brakes. They're not running in and running past and making it easier for the player to go past. They're hitting the brakes, say, go on then, break us down. And if you can, fair play. But I just think Coventry have been very naive. We've got the Coventry guys to our left. I'd expect them to be saying to Frank now, through the earpiece and at half-time, saying, right, we've got to go from left to right. Shift it one or two times. When you play 4-4-2, you block the middle of the pitch. If you watch as his second half develops, the fullbacks won't be outside the penalty area. They're trying to say, if you're going to beat us, go round us and cross the ball, but we're going to have the people in here. And at the moment, Coventry are playing down one side a little bit too much, and Sunderland are so happy, just saying, no problem.
The other thing I wanted to highlight was Sunderland have been on the break. They've been 3-on-2, 2-on-2. There's been moments where had they worked it better, they probably could have had a good opening. But there was one just before half-time. They were 2-on-2 Sunderland. Sakamoto had just been, he just laid the ball off down to the byline for the cross you're talking about. Yeah. So he played it down the right-hand side. I have never seen anyone sprint as hard as him to get back, make up the numbers, and he made the interception and stopped the Sunderland attack. That's commitment. It was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what Frank demands from his players. But again, just on the flip side to that, probably because I'm a striker, but Mayenda, you're 1v1 versus Kitchen, who you've gone past 2 or 3 times. You're looking to pass it. But what happens when you see with players, Ed, when they have a little moment and it doesn't come off and the fans go boo or want better or that sign comes out, they start hiding unintentionally because they're like, I don't want to give it away again. But if you're a real striker, a real attacking player, you're actually going to make more mistakes at the time you actually score or get the assist. So you have to keep going again. Doesn't matter if these guys shout at you, because the one thing you can do that changes it is score the goal that wins the game. There's been loads of games I've been terrible, scored in the last minute, and everyone goes, oh my God, Troy Deeney, man of the match. But you scored the winning goal. That's all people care about. I just want Mayenda to have that little bit of inner belief, and then right at the end have that little bit of quality, which he's clearly got.
Well, we need a bit of quality in terms of in front of goal. We need that Troy Deeney moment from the playoffs. We need that. Amad Diallo scored an absolute worldie here a couple of seasons ago against Luton in the first leg of a playoff semi-final. A brilliant goal. He's here tonight, the Manchester United player, watching the club he was on loan at. Need a bit of quality in that second half. Coventry have had chances, haven't made them count. Sunderland have had breaks that they haven't made count. And as it stands, Sunderland are heading through to Wembley to face Sheffield United. 0-0 on the night. They lead 2-1 on aggregate, live on Talksport.
Kick off on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Get money back as a free bet up to £10 if one leg of your Football 5 Plus acca lets you down. Pre-match straight line accas only. Odds are 3-1 or greater. 18 plus gambleaware.org. Off on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Supercharge your odds with our Odds Boost button. Selected markets applies to first £50 of stake. Terms apply. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Hey Mum, so you know we met Zara, my financial advisor? Yeah, from St James's Place. Well, she drafted our plan so you can get that bungalow near me. Oh, and Sam, that lovely carer we found, will drop in. And I can bring over my signature shepherd's pie. Oi!
Big decisions call for invaluable advice. Visit St James's Place to find your one-to-one financial advisor. St James's Place Wealth Management PLC is authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. SJP approved 19th of Feb 25.
Ah, cricket. The unmistakable sound of leather on willow.
Absolute beauty.
Fireworks.
Get the distance. Power ballads.
And T-shirt cannons.
What a catch.
Vitality Blast is back with the biggest local rivalries.
Cartwheeling stumps.
And sixes in the sun. Oh, wonderful technique. Have a blast with men's and women's T20 cricket starting 29th of May.
Search Vitality Blast to get your tickets now.
When you're growing a small business, you need someone who understands the ins and outs. And whether you're a tailor or an accountant, you need the tools to succeed. With an HSBC small business banking account, you'll have free accounting tools and access to our business specialists, virtually or in person. Because whatever your small business looks like, we're with you all the way. Search HSBC Small Business Banking Account to get started. Subject to application, eligibility, credit check and T's and C's. Visit hsbc.co.uk for details.
At GrosvenorCasinos.com, we know casino is more than a game. It's a feeling. Every deal of the cards, every turn of the roulette wheel, every spin of the slots, and every swipe of our app. You can feel the love every time you play. Experience over half a century of premium casino expertise right at your fingertips. Download the app or play online. GrosvenorCasinos.com, the home of a real casino. 18+ gambleaware.org.
Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent on Talksport Drive with Motorpoint. Destination sports conversation fueled by unfiltered opinion with quality guests as standard and a couple of motor mouths.
Something's not right, is it?
That's rubbish. It's the daily radio road trip that takes you to the farthest corners of the nation's football fanscape.
I'm just in my flat, chilling out.
Yeah, I think you might be my favourite so far, Martin. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Talksport Drive, tomorrow afternoon from 4 on Talksport with Motorpoint. There's no car like a Motorpoint car.
EFL Live on Talksport with McDonald's. Order McDelivery on the McDonald's app and get reward points too. 18+ participating restaurants. Delivery fees and terms apply. See mcdonalds.com.
On 1089 and 1053 medium wave, on DAB, online and on your smart speaker.
What a goal!
Kick off the EFL playoffs live on Talksport.
Yes, Talksport live at the Stadium of Light. I'm Adrian Durham. It is goalless at half-time. Let's get those half-time odds with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Get money back as a free bet up to £10 if one leg of your Football 5+ acca lets you down. Pre-match straight line accas only. Odds of 3-1 or greater. 18+ gambleaware.org.
Sunderland 0, Coventry 0. Sunderland are 17-10 to win this in 90 minutes. The draw 7-5. Coventry to win this leg 23-10. That's the latest odds with Ladbrokes. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
Odds update on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Supercharge your odds with our Odds Boost button. Selected markets applies to first £50 of stake. Terms apply. 18+. GambleAware.org.
Euros round the corner. Talksport on your radio.
Russo in the area. Russo to finish it! Alessio Russo!
Falls to Kelly inside the box, and she pokes it home off the goalkeeper, and in for the first time. England are European champions. An iconic moment for women's football.
Competing at the highest level, being under that football pressure, I think really helps. They know what's demanded, what's asked, and with that experience, I think that will absolutely help.
Carmona will strike it into the bottom corner. Captain goal in the World Cup final from Olga Carmona of Spain.
We're the current champions. Everybody wants to beat us.
Big positive for England is the likes of Hemp coming back for City, Alex Greenwood. I think that's vital.
Stunning goals, breathtaking saves. These Lionesses reminding us just how much joy we can all get from football. 50 days until the Women's Euros, 50 days until the tournament starts, where the Lionesses will try to retain their European crown. They won it at Wembley against the Germans. What a glorious, glorious day that was. But they are in a tough group. France, Wales and the Netherlands are with them. England's first game is against France in Zurich. Talksport will be there for all the Lionesses games across the Euros in July. Don't miss it with Talksport. Got some news from the Championship, Troy Deeney, and that is Alex Crook broke this a couple of hours ago, saying that there's an announcement imminent that Uruguayan Paolo Pezzolano is the new Watford manager. And it has now been confirmed by Watford Football Club. They've got a new manager. Saw somebody on social media saying, I think it'll last 2 seasons, summer and autumn. Which I thought was sensational. But listen, you're a Watford legend. What do you make of it?
I understand it. It's going to be hard for everyone to get over the Klebs not being there. Obviously, former captain, got the fans on side, got that culture back. But if we look at it the harsh light of day, if he wasn't Tom Cleverley and he wasn't all of those things, with that record from Boxing Day all the way through, they'd have been bottom of the form table, and he would have been sacked anyway. So
results were poor, weren't they?
They were poor, but again, is that all down to him? I personally don't think so. I think it's down to the recruitment. From what I'm hearing, I feel that there's going to be recruitment this summer. Again, the proof is in the pudding. We've heard this story one or two times, so it's on the ownership now to go and spend. I read Gino's quotes after Klebs had gone. It suggested that he wants to push and get back in the playoffs and get back to the Premier League, a bit like what we're watching tonight. But you have to invest, Ed. You can't go through the season with 2 strikers. You know, Bayo's a good striker. He runs around a lot, but they're singing towards the end of the season if Bayo scores were on the pitch. The last person they sung that to was Lloyd Doyley.
So the right back who never scored.
Exactly. So you can't do that to your main striker. And I just think when you look at the players, some have been there too long. It needs freshening up. Maybe this is the idea, but they will look at it from solely from a Watford point of view. As they brought in Javi Gracia, no one had heard of him. Does a good job. Bringing Cisco Munez, Slaven Jukanovic, they've had success doing that. So maybe they're trying to, go back to what they know. But it's all about the players, as you know. If you've got good recruitment, you bring good players in, the coach's job's always a lot easier. So I'm going to watch with interest. Wish Paolo all the best. Wish Watford all the best. But more importantly, I wish Klebs all the best with his next endeavour as well.
Yeah, very quick one on Tom Cleverley. What next for him?
Wherever he wants to go. I hope he's not out of the game too long, because whatever happens now, he's a good young coach. He's proved he can do it. He's handled himself exceptionally well. Wherever he goes, you would argue it's going to be a lot easier than what he's had to deal with in his first year there. Obviously, in January, it looked like he was going to get sacked. Then he's had to deal with that and then not have the recruitment right. I'd love to see him at like a Norwich or somewhere like that.
Interesting times as ever at Watford. Second half about to get underway in the cauldron that is the Stadium of Light. Here the fans go again. It's Sunderland 0, Coventry 0, 45 to go as it stands. Sunderland heading to Wembley to face Sheffield United. We're underway. Here's Troy Deeney and Jim Proudfoot.
And no changes in personnel ahead of this second half. Coventry kicking from right to left and immediately pumping a ball forward towards the edge of the Sunderland penalty area, where they win the seconds after the initial clearance. And it's played back towards Liam Kitching. Kitching across the midfield for Sheath, who's got Thomas making a run to his right-hand side, but he's gone the other way instead towards Grimes. It's goalless and 2-1 to Sunderland on aggregate. Kitching, 6 or 7 yards inside the Sunderland half. Back down towards Grimes. Sunderland just dropping into a tight 4-4-2, a narrow 4-4-2, as Troy was explaining in the first half. De Silva plays it forward here for Mason Clark's run, and 2 Sunderland players converge on him very quickly, one of whom, Dan Neal, has fouled him and just need him in the back of the thigh. So here's the first set-piece opportunity of the second half, which will be taken on the Coventry left-hand side. Sunderland lining up, Patterson in goal, Hume, Ballard, O'Nien and Sirkin, Roberts, Bellingham, Neal, Lefay, Mayanda and Isidore. For Coventry, Wilson, Van Eyck, Thomas, Kitching, De Silva, Grimes and Sheath, Sakamoto, Radoni, Mason Clark and Wright. So Grimes to take this free kick, which will be a left-footed away swinger. 3 on the edge of the 6-yard box from Coventry. 2 making runs from slightly deeper than that. It's hit in towards the centre of that 6-yard box and cleared. Comes out towards Van Eyck. He was immediately put under pressure from Mayenda, so he laid it all the way back for Wilson. His long ball force, a little coming together between Mason Clark and one of the Sunderland defenders. And the referee's get out of jail card free there was the fact that the offside flag came up over on the far touchline. So a free kick that will be taken by Sunderland, not too far outside their own penalty area. And you and I both in the company of Troy Deeney in this second half.
It's a good start, isn't it, from Coventry, Jim? Coming a bit more tempo and intensity. Just feel again that they've just got to manage this first 10-15 minutes. Don't go too gung-ho. Still only one goal in it. The chances will come, that's been proven. But as you can hear, this Sunderland crowd now, probably after a pie and a beer, revitalised and ready to go and see this job through with their team.
Speaking to some of our colleagues in the press box, I think the general consensus at half-time is that Coventry might hold the upper hand here, even though they are a goal down on aggregate at the moment. Certainly from the balance of play of the last 20 minutes, they did have the majority of chances in the first half. Maybe if they can just take one, it could be a very, very different night. Coventry will work it forward again here with Wilson's ball towards the edge of the penalty area. Mason Clark sticking out of right foot. He's done well to divert the ball back through the midfield towards Ben Sheaf. Coming in off that right-hand touchline, Sakamoto. The ball stood up by Van Ewijk and easily claimed by Patterson, who, having caught it, just falls to the floor, collapsing on the edge of his 6-yard box to take a few more seconds out of the game. You with Talksport and Sirius XMFC right across North America. Very good afternoon to you if you're listening in the States or Canada. 0-0 and 2-1 to Sunderland on aggregate with a little over 40 minutes to go.
You just saw a little insight into two team talks there. Coventry going down the sides now, getting balls in the box as quickly as they can. Yes, the quality could be a bit better. You also saw there with Patterson taking the ball, just fell onto it. Take as many seconds as you can. Make this Coventry team get more and more desperate. I feel that they're going to just be in a situation.
As Wright is played in, he's got the ground on the edge of the penalty area. And the Sunderland players think it was a dive. There was contact, I think, but not enough contact to make him go down in the spectacular way that he did inside the box. The referee just tells everybody to get on with it. The ball's with Patterson.
Yeah, I think he's dived there again. It's a poor first touch. Just watching Frank Lampard down below us there, like a panther, just going up and down at the zoo there, ready to let the fourth official have it. But once he sees that back, he's lucky to not get a yellow card. It's a bit like Isidore's in the first half, to be totally honest with you.
Yeah, Isidore booked for his, and that is why I think the Sunderland players were so aggrieved. There was no further sanction against Hadji Wright. He scored 4 goals in his 3 games against Sunderland this season. In fact, a third of the goals that he scored all campaign have come against this opposition. A little bit of a listless performance from him in the first leg, and he hasn't really had too many chances to shine in this second leg so far. Liam Kitching working the ball down the Coventry left for De Silva. Will control it and work it away from Roberts, and then play it back down towards the left-hand side for De Silva again. Kitching taking it on, getting towards the byline. Sliding challenge comes in to put it behind and out for a corner. First corner of the second half goes Coventry's way.
Stand it to the back post, please, somebody. It's on at the back post all day. Really good run from Kitchen down that left-hand side. Gets to the byline inside the 18-yard box. It's just a little stand to the back post. Again, flashed it near post, Jim.
Grimes to take the corner. Sunderland 0, Coventry 0. Sky Blues looking for the breakthrough. 6 to try and hit inside the penalty. He's played it outside the box. Sakamoto trying his luck. Couldn't get through enough players. And then Van Ewijk similarly tries his luck. He did get it past players, but fired well wide from 30 yards. Well worked set piece. The initial one pulled back to Sakamoto. But he had so many Sunderland players to get the ball past, he stood a little chance.
Yeah, it's really good play. Great ball from Grimes. Whips it across the edge of that 18-yard box with a lot of power. It's a perfect one for Sakamoto to come onto and try and put the ball away. Unfortunately, though, just as you said, too many bodies there. They're the ones you kind of hope it's 2 or 3 people and goes in. The keeper's on his heels. But it feels like Coventry have definitely turned the temperature up and have been told to go and get after this Sunderland team. So Sunderland need to just manage this next 5 or 6 minutes. If they can nick a goal, obviously that's great, but you've got to be better with the ball there. Lefray just turning it over needlessly.
Yeah, he and Sirkin had done well to win it back in the first place from Sakamoto. Play stops after Bellingham's fouled in the midfield. Free kick taken quickly for Neal and played down towards Roberts, but he can't find a way past De Silva. And Mason Clark turning it forward, and then it's whacked by Hume, and it ends up being a long diagonal out towards the far touchline for Haji Wright. He'll just let it run out of play, and Coventry take a throw. Interesting that they're really resisting the temptation for the long Van Eyck throw, which we saw so regularly in the first leg on Friday night. It took an age to set them up, much to Dean Ashton's frustration. Maybe that's part of it, that they know that they're up against it. They need as many playing seconds as they can, or seconds of playing time in this second leg, and from that point of view, they're not wasting the time to very deliberately set everything up. Mason Clark's done well. He stepped away from Hume's challenge and then goes down a yard from the edge of the penalty area, and it's a free kick just outside the corner of the box.
He's growing into the game, isn't he, Mason Clark? At the moment, the best player on the pitch. Just trying to get the Coventry fans into it as well, but Coventry need to give him the ball now for the next couple of minutes. He's got Hume backpedaling and swinging at thin air. There's a lovely touch on the inside, runs to the edge of the 18-yard box. Hume just has to take the foul because he'll be running in and getting a shot off.
Yeah, Mason Clark playing in the playoffs for a third successive season, a fourth time in all, hoping to reach his first final. Free kick to be taken by Grimes, half cleared. Sakamoto will chase after it, right hand side of the penalty area. He can't get there first, and it's put out of play for a throw. Sakamoto has taken it really quickly, back for Van Eyck, and the referee says it's a foul throw. That happened in the first half, where Sakamoto took one really quickly, throw it back to Van Eyck, and in his haste it was a foul throw, and he's done exactly the same again.
He's clearly an exceptional footballer, but someone needs to teach him how to take a throw in. That was really, really bad. But he loses all the momentum because it feels that this fan base is getting nervy, the edginess is creeping into the players. And unfortunately for Sakamoto, takes a really poor throw for the second time this game and gives all that momentum straight back to Sunderland.
Still 0-0, and still beautifully poised for a neutral. Not that there are many of those here at the Stadium of Light tonight. Mayenda, Roberts to his right in a little bit of space, the former Manchester City man, cutting inside the penalty area. Hume delivers. Big appeals for a penalty. The referee says no foul by Sakamoto, and there's no VAR to have a look at that. Bellingham, in the next phase of play, works it out towards Lefay. And Lefay laying it back, an opportunity to deliver a hanging cross, which is blocked, goes out of play, and Sunderland have their first corner of the night over on the left-hand side. Was it a penalty, Troy?
No, it's not. Surprisingly, I've been a little bit disappointed from the guys as well. 3 or 4 times people just throwing themselves to the ground. We see that a lot in the Prem because of VAR. You know, you just need a little touch. You don't really see that in the Championship. Letting the game down a little bit, but you know what this is going to be, don't you, Jim? First corner, first real shot, 1-0 Sunderland. You can feel it.
Well, they hope so. Coventry defending zonally inside the 6-yard box. Runners coming from deep. Thomas is able to head the ball away, and there was a foul on Bobby Thomas and a free kick that Coventry want to take quickly.
Really good header, really good, powerful header. Because if he doesn't do that, Ballard's headed that into an empty net. He's one of those as a player, you know, as you're going to head it, you're going to take a whack as well. And to be fair to Bobby Thomas, he took the hit for his team.
You're listening to Sunderland against Coventry in EFL Game Day Live on Talksport with McDonald's. And you can order McDelivery on the app and get rewards points. 18 plus. Participating restaurants, delivery fees and terms apply. See mcdonalds.com. It's De Silva, 20 yards outside the penalty area. Plays the ball back. Grimes can work it back to him on the left-hand touchline. Silva dropping his shoulder, turning inside, going back towards Grimes. Mayenda forcing him to play the ball quickly. Goes back Grimes' way, high hanging ball towards the far post that Sakamoto can't initially control, and when he lays it back for Van Eyck, it's just gone over the touchline and out of play for a Sunderland throw. And again, that does well to enhance the mood and just kill the tempo of the game. And allows Sunderland the opportunity to run a few seconds off the clock.
Again, though, it's in that wide area, goes down to Grimes. And again, probably technically the best footballer on the pitch. Just launches an ugly, horrible cross. It's not one that people can actually go and attack and score, and it ends up going out the other side. It just feels like Coventry just need to take a moment and have a little bit more quality. I think Frank will be looking at his bench now. He's got 5 down to our left-hand side out warming up. He has got some options, but he'll probably be looking at these options now, thinking, how do I get the best out of it? Because Mason Clark is the only one who showed any real quality, in my opinion.
Well, Thomas Asante is on the bench. Ellis Sims, who was once of this parish. Jamie Paddison, Coventry-born, who came back to British football from Charlotte in the States in February. And they're all attacking options that can be called upon. Hume for Sunderland. Forward here towards Isidore. Hit into space on the left-hand side for Lefay. Driven ball across the face of the penalty area is missed. Breaks for Roberts. And he's just passed it out of play for a goal kick. Didn't get hold of the shot at all. Better from Sunderland. Nothing like an end product, though.
No, as that breaks to Roberts, he actually fakes the shot, Jim. He could have shot, but he tries to fake it. The reverse pass down to Hume. Doesn't shoot, doesn't pass it, goes straight out of play for a goal kick. It's a game of nearlies, isn't it? It's a nearly game. It's nearly a great game of football. It's nearly a great atmosphere for both crowds. It just feels like every time we get to that boiling point, a little bit of sloppy play comes in.
Well, it's nearly Sunderland's night, they will feel. Just over half an hour to go, nearly 2/3 of the way there. The first leg lead that they're trying to protect. It's 0-0. They've won every playoff game they've ever played on this ground. They don't have to win this one. A 0-0 draw will feel like a victory. They have actually, though, never won both legs of a single playoff semi-final tie. Here's Ephraim Mason-Clark on the Coventry left. In swinging delivery, Radoni was the target. It was headed away from him. Sakamoto will get there first and allow it to go out of play for a Coventry corner.
Really good again. Mason-Clark cutting in on that right foot. Puts a wonderful ball into the back post. And it's a great header. I think it's Luke O'Nien who just flicks that away. You had Radoni and you had Hadji Wright there. Just looking in the build-up to that, Jim. Every time they've hit a long ball from the goalkeeper, Wilson, for some reason, Hadji Wright takes himself onto Ballard. Go on to Luke O'Nien. Go on to their worst header of the ball. I can see him coming off, I'm being honest.
Grimes taking this corner in towards the near post. Easily headed away. Sunderland player at the near post didn't have to move, just got his head to it, and then Van Ewijk will turn it all the way back for his goalkeeper. Put under pressure, he's got it away. And again, Wright goes out towards that far touchline. And the referee, Andy Madley's given a free kick as Isidore is fouled on the left-hand side of midfield. Another opportunity for Sunderland just to try and calm things down and take the sting out of the situation. We've played an hour, half an hour of Coventry season left. If it stays like this, it's 0-0.
Yeah, Sunderland did excellently now. Good play, good hold-up play from Isidore. Takes a foul. Going to be a sore one, but he knows he can take 30 seconds or so out of this game. Grimes really lucky to not get a yellow card, actually. But then just going back to Hadji Wright, clearly a talented player. I'll be honest, I'm questioning his mental right now, Jim, whether he's up for the fight of this game. Because you've got to be big and ugly. It's not a nice game where you get to run the channels. And everything you do, everything you should do if you've got 6'2" like he is, go play a Luke O'Nien who's 5'10", maybe 5'11". Don't go stand on Ballard who's 6'6". It just feels like he's doing everything the opposite to what you should be doing at this moment in time.
Well, Coventry fans will tell you that he flits in and out of games. He's flitted in and out of this season, really. He's
out of this one.
Well, he is. I mean, he's got a goal tally this season of 12 in 30 games. It's been an injury-curtailed season. I think how well he played in that FA Cup run last season. Yeah. Well, this is a big occasion that might be made for him, but he's yet to deliver. And I just wonder how long it will be before a change is made up front. 62 gone. Here on Talksport, it's 0-0 between Sunderland and Coventry. The winners playing Sheffield United, and that Championship playoff final is here on Talksport a week on Saturday. This Saturday, the FA Cup final. Next Saturday, the £170 million game. Here's Grimes finding Sheaf. Worked out to the Coventry right-hand side and play back again towards Kitching. An opportunity for Coventry to bring it forward over halfway. Kitching's pass is intercepted by Roberts, put out for a throw that will be taken on the Coventry left by Liam Kitching again. Comes down towards Ben Sheath. Arcing a ball through the centre circle out towards Matt Grimes. Sakamoto buzzing around. He's got Van Ewijk on the overlap, and his cross is blocked and out of play for another corner. And Coventry's set-piece delivery has been really poor so far tonight. They've only got to get one right.
I was just about to say that, Jim. You only need one to go right. They've worked that one at the start of the second half. Maybe they need to work something a little bit better. The edge of the box is completely free. 3 Coventry players at the edge of the box. Mayenda, the closest one, inside the penalty area. They're all on the edge of the 6-yard box, these Sunderland players.
And again, it's an in-swinger. The goalkeeper stuck in traffic, but it's knocked away from in front of Patterson. So poor clearance that falls for Van Ewijk. And he can recycle it and work it out towards the right-hand side. Next ball in, looking for Wright, headed away from him. Radoni's first to that, but it's come off the top of his head. Sakamoto did well to attack that. Now he comes for Wright, the angle's tight, he's fallen over before he can get a shot in. And the referee's given a free kick anyway to Sunderland for a foul in the D. So we saw, what was it, corner number 4, I think, of the 6 that we've seen, the ball that was laid back for Sakamoto, who fired one in and couldn't get it through enough traffic. But that's always on. They had De Silva on the edge of the D and Sakamoto, and Van Ewijk's not far away, and Sunderland happy to let them have it there because they're defending Mob Handley's only inside the 6-yard box.
Absolutely. And it's just really, we'll let this one breathe a little bit here, Jim, but look at these Sunderland fans just getting up to their team because they know it's a massive part of the game.
Trying to roll them over the line. 26 minutes to go. Talk about the fact that they've got a poor record. Coventry won 3-0 here last season with Sakamoto amongst the scorers. Of the 4 teams in the playoffs, it's Sunderland that's got the worst record in the matches between those 4 over the course of the regular season, with a win, 2 draws and 3 defeats. And Sheffield United, perhaps unsurprisingly, with the best record in that little 4-team mini-league. Coventry have taken 9 points from those games, Sunderland only 5. And Sunderland in control at the moment, winning a free kick in the left-back position. Taken by Sirkin. And played down towards Trey Hume. Hume controlling the ball. Running back inside away from Mason Clark. Back from him to Neal, who's just dropped in between the 2 Sunderland centre-halves, one of whom 09 can now work it out towards Sirkin. From him in towards Bellingham and back for Luke 09 again. Now it goes to Neal and straight back for 09. And that passage of play is repeated a couple of times before Sunderland then work it from Ballard down towards the near side. Roberts comes to meet it, just keeps it in, only just, but his touch can find Mayenda. And he'll run inside the penalty area and win another corner as he tried to pull it back for Isidore. It's come off Grimes. Home crowd don't need too much encouragement to find their voice as Sunderland get their second corner of the night at 0-0.
That's better from Mayenda. Lovely touch from Pat Roberts just on his left-hand side. Keeps it in play. Mayenda just drives, pushes Coventry back. He's waiting for movement from Isidore. It doesn't come, so plays it off the Coventry defender. Gets his crowd up, but he's dragged his team 40, 50 yards up the pitch. Now Coventry got to defend the set piece.
Lefay's come across to take it. Had the option of a short one into the feet of Roberts for a moment, and that option is still on. Roberts playing it back for Lefay. Lefay towards the edge of the penalty area. Right-footed is clipped in by 09. Right-footed volley, what a save! Diving to his right-hand side, Wilson, arguably with a moment that keeps Coventry's season alive, diving to his right and able to tip the shot wide for a corner.
That's the same one they worked in the first leg as well. A short ball back to Luke 09. It looks like they're going to set it back to Roberts to flip it in, but Luke 09 flips it himself to the back post. 2v1. Joe Bellingham with a block out, and I think it's Hume there, or Sirkin actually, who should score. It's a good save, but he should score.
In comes the corner. The goalkeeper had plenty of traffic in front of him, but punched it clear. He stayed down, and there's an angry reaction and some wrestling going on. And now two players squaring up to each other. Bellingham is involved. And one of the Sunderland players, Isidore, comes into act as peacemaker. But they were at it for a good 4 or 5 seconds there. Bellingham and Wilson, an angry reaction. The pair of them collided. And then there was more contact as the two got back to their feet. There's an angry reaction as well from Frank Lampard, who's gone across and is confronting Regis Lebris about Bellingham's reaction there, and he's going to take a fair bit of sorting out.
Yeah, I actually think Joe's not done anything wrong here. I actually think this is more Wilson. But the referee's just put both of them. He's put Bellingham and he's put Wilson. It's just one of those ones. The keeper comes to get the ball, doesn't get anywhere near it, and they're just rolling on top of each other. And then for some reason, Wilson just grabs him, throws him to the floor, tries to, I suppose, little boy Job and push him into the post. Job shows his adult strength and pushes him back, and they both get yellow carded. It's I don't really know what Wilson's doing. He's looking to still be on the pitch in the first half anyway, and now he's making it about him.
Yeah, he had that moment with Isidore in the first half where Isidore had gone down and he was getting back to his feet and made sure that he made significant contact with Isidore as he did so. Escaped a yellow card, and he got one there. It would have been off by now. Now Rodoni, I think, has made a genuine attempt to go for the ball there, but the boot was raised and he's made contact with one of the Sunderland players. This is all helping the Black Cats. There's no doubt about that, because every passage of play at the moment is only lasting 10, 12 seconds before it's being punctuated by another blow of the whistle. And that stops Coventry getting any kind of rhythm. So the Sky Blues have got to try and extricate themselves from this.
Yeah, it's absolutely all about the momentum. And what it does as well, with this fiery attitude and the way it makes the game, it gets his fan base up. This is what fans love. They love to see the blood, the guts, the thunder. And it actually takes away from Coventry's probably more passing, nice pattern of play. Makes Sunderland just go, right, we'll just keep clipping it into the corner.
They try to do that there with a long ball down the line for Trey Hume, which was overhit, goes out of play. Goal kick. 20 minutes to go now for Coventry to find the goal that will be the aggregate leveller. Not too many signs of it from the last 10-15 minutes. They had better chances on a more consistent basis in the first half than they're having now. Sunderland doing well to kill the game. And we've got our answer to how the Sunderland fans would react if the game panned out like this, because this is how most observers thought it was going to. Sunderland playing a containing job, Coventry having the most of the possession. And the Sunderland fans have lapped it up. All about the scoreline. 0-0, but the greatest 0-0 draw they've had here for years, if it ends that way. Van Ewijk out towards the Coventry right-hand side. Sakamoto with a little shuffle and a shimmy and then a check, and he's pulled it back. Van Ewijk sends one arcing inside the penalty area. That's headed away. Falls out for Ben Sheaf on the edge of the box. Can't get a shot in. It's immediately knocked away from him. Back from Thomas out towards the right. Wright will chase after that, and goalkeeper Patterson is there first. Actually, I say Wright will chase after it. He didn't really let Rodoni do the hard work. Patterson comes out and is able to get on the ball. Coventry are going to be making a change, and Josh Eccles is the man that's going to be coming on. Lost the playoff final a couple of years ago with Coventry when he was an extra time sub. A veteran of many years for Coventry now, with 160 Sky Blues games behind him. He'll be on very shortly. Here's Sheaf. Work through the midfield towards Grimes. Grimes back for Kitching to Thomas. And to Grimes again. Still 0-0. 18 minutes to go here on Talksport. Ball play forward by Kitching. Easily cut out. Sunderland with an opportunity to get it forward here towards the edge of the penalty area. It was Ballard laying it off towards Pat Roberts. Roberts, a man with Premier League and plenty of European experience in his career. Couldn't get to the byline to get a cross in there, and De Silva's going to be able to get it away. De Silva's ball out. Comes down towards from Mason Clark on the Coventry left. He's lost possession, didn't have too much room to work with. Now the crowd tell you that it's Trey Hume that has done the good job there in getting it out and winning the throw. That will allow Coventry the opportunity to make the change, and it's Sheep that is coming off, and he's going to be replaced by Eccles.
Yeah, surprising one. That obviously Sheep has got the yellow card in the first half, so maybe he's thinking that with the tempo and the tension that's in the room. But to bring Eccles in is again another ball-playing, holding midfielder. I don't think that's really been their problem. I think they've got control of the game. I think it's more in his attacking areas, so I'd expect to see Asante coming on, maybe Sims as well, maybe even Patterson. Just somebody that's a bit braver in these final thirds, because at the moment it's Mason Clark or out for Coventry.
Ball chipped over the top by Eccles, and here is Haji Wright, left-hand side of the penalty area. The angle is really tight. He's not in a position he can get a shot in. Can lay it back. Eccles running onto it. That's cleared. Van Ewijk. Back from him to Grimes. Coventry still hanging around about 15 yards outside the Sunderland penalty area. Still 0-0. Still the Sky Blues looking for a way through. So Sunderland happy to contain them. Clean sheet here and there at Wembley. That playoff final against Sheffield United. Chipped out towards the Coventry right-hand side again for Sakamoto. Sakamoto back for Van Ewijk. Thomas has got it. He's the deepest of Coventry's outfield players, but he's still way inside Sunderland territory. Thomas getting it forward again for Milan Van Ewijk. Grimes playing it through the midfield. Exchanging passes with Kitching. Going out towards the right-hand side for Thomas. Coventry still, despite the fact that the clock is running down, very patient in their build-up here. Sakamoto onto his left foot, trying to deliver. He can whip in a left-footed cross. It's a good header away. Luke O'Nien steering it outside the penalty area again for Kitching. Thomas back out towards Sakamoto. To Van Ewijk on the overlap. Ball in from him towards the near post. Volleyed away by O'Nien and then cleared before it goes out for a corner. It'll be a Coventry throw, but nearer halfway.
Yeah, you said patient for Coventry. I say too slow. It's down one side. It keeps going. It's allowing all the strikers to get picked up in the box. And as I said to you earlier on, Sunderland are allowing the wide areas to get to the overload. To be fair, I must admit, the work that Lefray and Roberts have done, not known for their teamwork and their endeavour, they're really epitomising where this Sunderland team are right now, digging in with the hard yards.
Coventry work the ball down the right-hand side. It's Rodoni that's gone out there this time. And a nice little reverse from him. Van Ewijk with the cross right there to attack, and it's in. 1-1. There is the goal. Mason Clark coming onto it. It is game on again. And Coventry have the goal that their efforts deserve. Back on level terms in the tie as a whole. And we're now no closer to knowing who is going to Wembley. One good ball stood up, right attacking it. Mason Clark got there first. Coventry fans away to our left are ecstatic. It's 1-0 to the Sky Blues on the night. 1-1 on aggregate. And the Stadium of Light temporarily silenced before the Sunderland fans find their voice again. Now they have work to do.
Typically, I just said how well Lefray was doing. He just switches off. It's a great ball to the back post, but it's really, really poor defending from Hume. Got to give Mason Clark all the credit in the world. Most wingers now staying beyond the back post. He assesses the flight of the ball, gets inside Hume. Lovely finish into the far corner. But for Hume and Sunderland, pressure's on because he's in front there. He has to deal with it, but take nothing away from the ball. The first time we got into the final third with Coventry, and a really well worked cross. I've been calling for it all day. Back post, they do it, and it's a goal.
From Mason Clark, 19 goals for Peterborough last season, only 6 for the Sky Blues so far, but number 6 has proved to be a very, very important one. Now that's the Coventry fans that you can hear high away to our left-hand side in the upper tier of the North Stand. Now Sunderland have to be more proactive. 13 minutes of normal time to go. In comes the free kick. headed by Bellingham inside the Coventry penalty area, half cleared, and a left-footed effort from Dennis Serkin on the turn, off balance, goes high and wide. Well, the other night it was Sunderland that scored first and Coventry equalised within a couple of minutes, only for the Black Cats to score that late winner on 88 minutes. Now tonight, Coventry with the breakthrough, 14 minutes from time. How does it change the Sunderland game plan?
I think it's very much the same. They've just got to do a bit more on the counter-attack now. They've been containing, but they need the likes of Mayenda and Isidore now to really stretch the pitch when they go forward. The one thing I've been really disappointed about, Jim, is just how they've managed this second half. It's like they've played for the 0-0. They've got to get this crowd back inside and back and get it up. That nervous energy's kicked in instantly as soon as that goal went in. It just feels like, oh, have we done this wrong? Oh.
Free kick has been given Coventry's way on halfway. And a yellow card is shown to Enzo Lefebvre. He's the 7th player to have his name taken. It has been ill-tempered, not just on the field, but in the technical areas as well. Not sure there's an awful lot of love lost down there. Just the way we like it. 1-0 to Coventry, 1-1 on aggregate. Ball on the 2-2 on aggregate, I beg your pardon. Here's Radoni towards the edge of the penalty area. Sakamoto back for Radoni. Can he get a shot in? He's toe poked it to his left. It's run across past Hadji Wright. He then can't keep it in. And it goes out of play for a Sunderland goal kick.
It feels like it's coming, doesn't it? It's brewing, Jim. Coventry have got their tails up. You feel like you're looking at Sunderland's bench now saying, well what are you going to do? There's no players warming up. There's actually no manager out on the touchline. So either they're planning something or they've all got in their shell. You need your manager out there now, calming the players down.
Crowd of just a shade over 46,500 here tonight. Everybody completely engrossed. It's been an enthralling game. It hasn't exuded quality.
Yeah,
it's a playoff semi-final second leg.
It's made a better watch because of the lack of quality. If you get what I mean, if you feel like at any one moment it could happen, but I'm really, really interested in what your take is on this. No manager out, no subs warming up. This is a moment of crisis for this Sunderland team. Where's your manager? Where's your players?
Well, you tell me how important it is to see your manager at times like this, because players will often say, well, I don't listen to a word the manager says when the game is going on, but do you need to see him as a presence?
You do when you're such a young squad like this now. Really young team with the ability that they have, but they've never been in this cauldron. They've got a fan base now. Look, now the manager comes out, he starts clapping, the fans react to that. They just had a couple of minutes there of a wobble. They need help. They need to look around to see your leader. You're asking young kids in this situation to step up and take control of the game, and that I just think is a little bit difficult for them to do in this moment.
Well, Rigg and Mundle, both attacking options that can come on. A huge doubt about exactly how fit Mundle is, if indeed he's fit at all. A very influential player, and when they play him on the left-hand side, they can move Lefebvre into a more central position. That might be something that's going through Reggie Lebris's mind. So he's going to extra time as things stand at the moment, with Coventry leading 1-0 on the night. High ball in here from Grimes, and that's headed away by a combination of Ballard and 09. Back from Grimes again. Even since the Coventry goal, as that was a poor challenge from Mayenda. He's just left a foot in the centre circle on Thomas, who played the ball forward. And Mayenda made sure that he was caught, and I heard you say there of my good refereeing.
Sorry, yeah, good refereeing. You know I always get a little bit excited when the tension gets up. Sorry, mate. Yeah, just because it would have been very easy to give Mayenda a yellow card, but it's one of them, he can nearly nick it. So it's good refereeing. He's been really good tonight, Mr. Badley. Really good.
Coventry on the left with Mason Clark, whose ball in towards the near post is comfortably claimed by Patterson. 8 minutes of normal time to go. Sunderland 0, Coventry 1. From Mason Clark's goal 6 minutes ago. The difference between the sides on the night, making sure there's no difference between them in this playoff semi-final. as a whole. Riggs going to be coming on in a moment for Sunderland. And that will be their first change. Cov themselves have only made one so far, with Eccles on. Came on for Sheaf about 10, 15 minutes or so ago. 10 minutes ago. Coventry have got it. Here is Eccles right on cue. And he's got it again as he just exchanges passes with Van Ewijk. Pull back towards the edge of the penalty area. League One playoffs coming your way over the next 2 nights. We're at Stockport tomorrow. We're at Charlton on Thursday. Both of those games live on Talksport 2. As Coventry work the ball forward here, and Wright has fouled his man. Then there's more action on Friday from the Premier League. The 2 Europa League finalists are both in action. Manchester United go to Chelsea, and Spurs are at Villa. And those games live for you on the Talksport network at 7:30 kick-off, Talksport 2 at Villa Park, and the game at Stamford Bridge, 8 o'clock on Talksport Friday. The Europa League final is live from Bilbao on Talksport. And that's on Wednesday. We've got the FA Cup final for you at the weekend, the last day of the Premier League season, all the playoff finals. England have got a couple of games to come, and then England's women in the European Championships over the course of the summer, live from Switzerland, all coming your way on the Talksport network. Sunderland making the change. Chris Rigg coming on for Isidore. He will play just that little bit deeper. Still a month short of his 18th birthday, Chris Rigg. This is going to be his last appearance for the Black Cats here at the Stadium of Light, I wonder. He's in the action straight away with a little cushioned header forward that didn't quite come off, but he's got it back at his feet. It's all arms and legs as he receives that, but he's protected the ball beautifully. He's laid it back for Ballard. We're fast approaching territory where a goal wins it.
Yeah, I think so, Jim. I think it's also interesting that they've matched up as well, Sunderland, for the first time in the competition. Oh, support ball. But Rigg coming on, he offers you the opportunity to put pressure on Grimes and Eccles in there without the ball, but then he also runs from deep, and Coventry haven't been good, the 2 centre-halves, seeing that third man run coming in the box.
Ball played out towards Dennis Sirkin on the Sunderland left. Oh, left-footed volley's completely missed his kick. Coming onto that, he was in a central position, Rigg, and it shanked off the outside of his left boot and gone square rather than towards goal. Coventry survive, get it away. Hadji Wright chasing, Ballard there first. Back it goes from him to Hume. Now Luke O'Neill. 6 minutes to go, 5.5 minutes to go, plus stoppage time. It was niggly and fractious, and players spent a lot of time on the deck in the opening 25 minutes of this half, so that you would imagine there'll be quite a few minutes of added time to come, and we might have another 30 on top of that, the way things are going. 1-0 to Coventry, 2-2 on aggregate. Looked like handball by Sirkin, by Lefebvre, as he controlled that long ball played in his direction. Now the referee's given a free kick to Coventry.
Yeah, this is that moment in the game, Jim, where both managers are saying, do we stick or do we twist? Who wants the glory? Both got their assistants next to them, looking at the landscape. For the first time, we got 10 subs out, 5 from each team, and just shows you it's that niggly part of the game. 5-6 minutes left of normal time, probably 5 minutes added on at least with all the stoppages that we've had. You would expect that one of them's going to have to make a change to try and win this game in normal time.
And do you expect that will be Coventry, or is it more likely to be Lebris and Sunderland?
I think Coventry. I think Coventry have got the ascendancy, they've got the foothold in the game. Feels to me like Sunderland are hanging on. And the way that they've worked so hard off the ball, it's really difficult for them to carry on at this tempo.
Grimes for Van Ewijk to Sakamoto. Van Ewijk playing it deeper towards Thomas. Kitching coming onto it. Coventry still 25 yards outside the Sunderland penalty area. Now he goes out towards the right-hand side again. Sakamoto level with the edge of the Black Cats box. Drops the shoulder, trying to go on the outside, but that's invariably a decoy that he can cut back onto his left foot to try and get a cross in. Sunderland alive to that, so he was forced to play back down the touchline, and Coventry will recycle it again across this really wide arc that stretches almost from the right-hand touchline level with the edge of the box and all the way back towards the edge of the centre circle. Now when they play a more direct ball forward, it's too long. Goes out of play for a goal kick. And Sunderland not taking any time about the restarts now. 3+ stoppage time to go, and then extra time on the agenda with Coventry leading 1-0, Troy.
Yeah, just thinking back to that chance for Rigg. Maybe it's come too early for him, just coming onto the pitch, but it's a wonderful driving run from Joe Bellingham. Sets Lefree down that left-hand side, and as he just cuts it back, it's right in the penalty spot. You're just thinking again, just guide it home, just pass it into the net, and as you said, went off at a right angle. It was like you off the tee, that, Jim.
Apart from it went further. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Here's Bellingham. Not one of my putts. The ball goes back to the Sunderland goalkeeper. Played out to 09. 2.5 to go. Bellingham. Now to Sirkin. Back to Bellingham. Clever little dummy from Lefay. Sirkin on the overlap. 3 to try and hit in the middle. He couldn't get a cross in. It's well defended. And Van Ewijk works it back. It's cleared by Eccles from inside his penalty area. Now the counter-attack could be on for Coventry, who've got 3 forward with Redoni in possession. But he's been stopped in his tracks. And although they haven't got possession back, Sunderland, they've got a semblance of defensive shake back behind the ball. Van Ewijk almost hitting the referee with the ball that's played back for Kitching. Thomas. We're back into the default position of 21 players in that Sunderland half, everybody except for the Coventry keeper. And these songs you can hear from the Sunderland support are born of nerves. Thomas. Back out of the Coventry right again. Deflection on a right-footed cross that comes in. 09 heads it high up in the air. Bellingham wins the seconds. It's not great. Redoni couldn't pick it up. It's cleared. Comes back from Thomas to Grimes. Back out of the Coventry right-hand side for Sakamoto. Taking on his man. Goes on the overlap. Right-footed ball in. Chested down by De Silva on the edge of the D. Sets it up for a left-footed errant shot, which was drifting innocuously wide from Kitching. It took a couple of deflections, gave Coventry another chance, and Sunderland ultimately end up winning a throw. We're in the 90th minute. It's 1-0 to Coventry on the night, 2-2 on aggregate.
Yeah, it's nervous now. I feel like we're going into extra time territory. Neither manager looking at their bench, but everyone's out warming up. It feels like we're going to be here for a long, long time, gentlemen.
Throw taken across the edge of the penalty area. Late drama at the CBS. It will be later drama. Something's to come now. It was an 88th minute winner the other night. We're deep in the 90th minute, just waiting for the fourth official, Tony Harrington, to show us how many extra minutes we're going to see. Sunderland caught in possession. That was a poor challenge from Bellingham, who knew that he'd just been caught and sold short, and he had to stop a counter-attack in its infancy. Only 3 minutes of added time. That's a surprise. Haven't seen too many substitutions, but we've seen a fair few stoppages. So 3 minutes for either side to win it before they've got 30 to win it.
Yeah, he's lucky there, Joe. Neil sold him short, Dan Neil there. He has to make the foul, but I think if he's not already yellow carded, he gets sent off there. I think the referee's done him a solid, because he should probably go in the book and get sent off.
What he has done is conceded a free kick that allows Coventry the chance to get the big guns forward again. Redoni's waiting in the D. Thomas is in the far post area. The free kick's tapped short by Van Ewijk. A chance for Eccles to bring it forward. Sakamoto, everyone's still forward for it. It's played back towards Eccles. Eccles rolling it into the feet on the edge of the penalty area, then getting it back. Left-footed shot takes a deflection, spins through the penalty area and will be cleared down the Sunderland left-hand side. Back it comes from Van Ewijk. It's all Coventry in stoppage time as they look for the aggregate winner. They're 1-0 up on the night. They want a second to get this done. Redoni, Sunderland are holding on. Redoni to right, into the right-hand side. Deep ball towards the far post. De Silva trying to head it back across the face of the 6-yard box. Wins a corner.
Really good play from Coventry. It's really good for De Silva there, because that's a poor ball to the back post, but he makes something of it. Are we going to get one of those championship moments? Feels like it, doesn't it? Feels like we're going to get one last chance, one last crescendo.
Ever any late goals in playoff games you played in?
Nah, not many, mate. Not many. It's not about me today, Jim. That's tomorrow.
Well, we chew on them. If you haven't seen it, look it up. Grimes, it's a left-footed away swinger to the edge of the 6-yard box. A really good defensive header. Not the first from Dan Ballard. Comes back out towards Grimes. Another ball hung up. That's headed away. Remember, Coventry have seen more goals from crosses and headers than any other team in the EFL. De Silva trying to tiptoe his way into a shooting position. Can't do so. Sakamoto clipping it forward. Back towards De Silva on the left-hand touchline. Sunderland get it away. It's going to roll down towards the touchline and over it and out for a Coventry throw. And I reckon we've got 35 seconds left.
Yeah, just seeing Frank Lampard there, just telling his team just to calm down. Don't want to get caught on the counter-attack there. There's 2 times that Sunderland had a bit of composure, could have got Mayenda away.
One last chance for Coventry to win the tie. Ball inside the area for Haji Wright. What a chance it was. He's 6 yards out and he's headed it 3 yards wide. That was the chance to win it and to send Coventry to Wembley.
That was the moment. Wonderful play from Sakamoto, cutting in on that left foot like he has done all day. Just feels it to the back post. 6 yards out. Haji Wright has to score.
With the last touch of the 90 minutes, Coventry spurn a gilt-edged chance. But they've given themselves a platform to get to Wembley. Mason Clark's 76-minute goal gives them a 1-0 lead after 90 minutes. And we're heading to extra time.
Haji Wright, more like Haji wrong. Wow, that was a chance for it to be all over. But the glory about that is we've got another half hour to come. I think it's been thrilling. And Coventry are level with Sunderland. It's all square on aggregate. We've got extra time coming live on Talksport next.
Kick off on Talksport with Ladbrokes. Supercharge your odds with our Odds Boost button. Selected markets applies to first £50 of stake. Terms apply. 18+. Gambleaware.org.
Have you ever wondered what becoming a lotto millionaire sounds like?
You want to sit down? I can confirm that you have won £1 million indeed.
That's Terry, finding out he'd won £1 million.
Oh my God.
Lotto from the National Lottery. Will you be the next millionaire? Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
Living for your next getaway, nothing beats a vibe holiday. You and your mates, all in one place, chilling by the pool all day or partying all night in spots like Ibiza, Tenerife and Ayia Napa with your pick of our best 2 to 5 star hotels. Book summer now from London Stansted with just a £60 deposit per person. Vibe by Jet2 Holidays. After natural protected, subject to availability and conditions.
Crunch. At Tesco, we love a good crunch. Imagine the first crisp bite of an apple, or the nibble of celery dipped in hummus. It's reserved for perfectly baked sourdough and deliciously fresh iceberg lettuce. To us, every single crunch is worth savouring. The crunch. It's not a little thing. It's everything. Tesco. Every little helps.
Activating coverage.
What a hit!
Kick off the EFL playoffs live on Talksport.
While Sunderland fans are singing loud and proud again, even though they were there until left from Mason Clark. Raised that right foot, held it there, cushioned a volley into the corner of the net, and made it 2-2 on aggregate, 1-0 to Coventry on the night. David Moyes is on breakfast tomorrow on Talksport. Everton's final Goodison game, live and exclusive on Talksport Sunday from 11 a.m. Dave Challoner, the Stockport manager, on breakfast tomorrow on Talksport. Stockport Orient, playoff semi-final second leg tomorrow night. Talksport 2, it's 2-2 from the first leg. The only place for every playoff game is the Talksport network. We've got them all, including the 3 Wembley finals, of course. They are getting ready for extra time. We've got another half an hour of this brilliant playoff semi-final from the Championship live on Talksport right now. 1-0 to Coventry on the night. 2-2 on aggregate. Sheffield United still waiting to find out their Wembley playoff final opponents. It's live on Talksport. Extra time about to get underway with Troy Deeney and Jim Proudfoot.
And Sunderland are getting Romain Mundle ready. He's not coming on just yet. We're back underway. Coventry kicking from left to right at the start of this first period of extra time, and immediately winning a corner, which they will take over on the left-hand side. It is the Sky Blues that have had all the momentum. Can they get their noses in front for the first time in the tie? 1-0 up on the night, 2-2 on aggregate. So this first set piece of extra time, a Grimes corner in front of that big Sunderland flag, swung it towards the penalty spots, ricocheted off Bobby Thomas's left foot, comes outside the penalty area for De Silva, back from Grimes again, faced up by Roberts. Is he going to be able to get a cross in? No, not initially. Just played back towards Sakamoto, who's come into a more central position, and now goes out towards the Coventry left, and now forward for Sakamoto once more. Another opportunity for Grimes to try and deliver. Little reverse ball instead inside the penalty area. Sakamoto turning away, dropping his shoulder, playing the way that he's facing towards De Silva. Left-footed ball in from De Silva. Travelled a long way, Ballard heads it clear. And to the right-hand side, another high-hanging ball in. Van Ewijk with the cross, and that's headed wide and out of play for a goal kick. Really good start to extra time from Coventry City. This is how the two teams are lining up. Patterson in goal for Sunderland. Hume, Ballard, O'Nien and Sirkin. Roberts, Bellingham, Neal, Lefay and Rigg, who's come on off Mayenda. Mundle's going to be coming on in a moment. That's what the big roar of appreciation is from the Sunderland supporters. He hasn't featured for a month because of his hamstring problem. He will be coming on. Coventry, Wilson in goal, Van Ewijk, Thomas, Kitching and De Silva. Grimes alongside substitute Eccles. Sakamoto, Radoni and Mason Clark, the goal scorer. And Wright, who should have won it for Coventry in the last touch of the 90 minutes. Coventry in possession on the right-hand side. Van Ewijk in a little bit of space. Who wins it from here, Troy?
It feels like Coventry, doesn't it? I'm just speaking to a couple of the Sunderland guys as they're in the toilet there. And they just said it feels like the heart and soul's gone out of this team. Their legs are gone. I'm really interested that they're bringing Mundle on now. Could have just done that change, 2 minutes ago? But clearly, the fact that he wasn't ready, hamstring problems, maybe had to give him a little bit more of a warm-up than I've anticipated, but all Coventry at this moment in time.
Sakamoto in possession, coming in off the right-hand side. I'm going to say that it's a little bit of a gamble with Mundle. They have been keeping him under cotton wool recently because of that hamstring problem. They couldn't afford to rush him back. They would love him to have started each of these playoff legs, but only in a position that they can bring him on seemingly in the 94th minute of this second leg. Coventry are in possession with Thomas, the tall centre-half. Even tall by centre-half standards. To his left-hand side for Kitchen. Don't get too many short ones. The ball is back with Thomas again. Down towards the right-hand side for Van Ewijk. Van Ewijk to Eccles. Eccles turning through the midfield. Play to his left-hand side for Grimes. Now out towards the Coventry left, and another opportunity for Mason Clark to bring it forward. Coming infield. Lays it off towards Eccles. Grimes is there. Referee takes evasive action for a pass intended for Eccles, and then again as Kitching plays it out towards the left. Here come Coventry once more. Fired in towards the edge of the box. There was a handball. And Mason Clark's penalised. It's a free kick to Sunderland on the edge of their box, and here he comes. So Roberts is coming off, and Mundle will come on. So whether Lefay is going to swap flanks or whether Mundle is going to play on the right-hand side, he's surely going to play on his favoured left. Yes, he is. So to put Lefay out of the right, and the change is made.
Big gamble as well. Obviously, clearly a player of exceptional talent that we've seen all season in the Championship, but coming back from a hamstring into a game like this, it could go in your favour that he's fresh and he's ready to go with that electric pace. But also, the way that Coventry have been dominating the ball, maybe he has to do a lot of work without the ball here, that he has to just dig in a little bit.
Thomas clears for Coventry, back into Sunderland territory. The ball has spent an awful lot of time in Sunderland territory over the course of the night. O'Nien grateful to see that off-balance back pass had enough purchase to get back to his keeper. Patterson clears it. And Grimes is first to it on halfway. Works intelligently back through the midfield from Mason Clark. Now down towards Sakamoto with the brisk ball on the Coventry right. Sakamoto. One of the Sunderland defenders stumbles, Mundell doesn't, and he did really well to win that back and get Sunderland going again. Now pressure on Sirkin, but he's alive to that. Flicks it down towards Lefay. Lefay urged by the Sunderland crowd to get on with it and work a ball through the middle, and he's done precisely that. Neil, out towards the right-hand side. Chris Rigg, delivery in from him. Mayenda might just have got something on it, but he could only guide it through the keeper.
Yeah, I actually think he chose the wrong decision there. 2v1 on the outside. Go and start having a bit of conceded pressure in that half now if you're Sunderland. Again, as we said at the top of the show, once you set up to be defensive and compact, it's so hard mid-game, especially in extra time now, to change that mentality and try and get after this Coventry team. It does feel like Sunderland will either get a chance on the break or it's going to go to penalties if they are to win.
They've got it inside the penalty area now. A shot from Rigg on the turn is blocked. Coventry look forward. Long ball over the top. Patterson read it, raced outside his penalty area and got there before Hadji Wright. Sakamoto, now a touch by Rigg. It's a glorious one. It's inside the penalty area. Try to roll it square. Might yet be able to. Brilliant sliding challenge from De Silva. Read the danger and got there ahead of Mayenda to be able to knock it away.
Great defending. De Silva has just saved the game for Coventry. That's that chance we was talking about. Poor for Bobby Thomas again. Just get nicked by Lefray. Gets in. As he pulls that across, he literally just blocks it at the last minute, De Silva, because Rigg is just going to roll that into an empty net.
This, remember, a Sunderland side that haven't scored a goal here at the Stadium of Light now for 437 minutes. That's
wow,
more than 7.25 hours. 4 consecutive 1-0 defeats in 90 minutes, including this one tonight. Extended into extra time because it's 2-2 on aggregate. Coventry bringing it forward. Still no closer to knowing who it is that's going to be taking on Sheffield United at Wembley, live on Talksport a week on Saturday. Van Ewijk inside the Sunderland penalty area. He can't trick his way past O'Nien. Grimes centrally clipping one, left-footed curver down towards the Coventry right-hand side for Sakamoto. Sakamoto works it back. Grimes to Thomas, back for Grimes again. Coventry's possession exclusively in Sunderland territory in this move. Black Cats fans urging their side just to stay focused. Eccles. Feels like a game where Sunderland would be prepared to go to penalties right now, even though their record from the spot has been diabolical this season. They've only scored 1 out of 5 penalties that they've taken in first-team fixtures this season. The thing with the pressure they're under, they'd fancy their chances maybe more in a penalty shootout than surviving the danger for the next 20 minutes or so. They've got a corner to defend here as Eccles hits a very speculative attempt from distance that deflects away.
Yeah, it's one that Luke O'Nien's already committed to throwing himself in. It's going high, wide and handsome, but just hits Luke O'Nien and goes out. I was just thinking, Jim, if you look at the bench of Coventry, they've got more attacking options, more people that can change the game in their favour. I feel like Sunderland are in survival mode right now. They just need to get to penalties.
Yep, Cobb still with a chance to bring on Patterson or Sims or Thomas Asante if they need to. Grimes with the latest corner, Coventry's 9th. Patterson comes out, who's headed away from in front of him. Sakamoto back in, that's blocked. De Silva clipping it, left-footed in. Thomas at the far post, Patterson's done well. It's palmed it away under pressure. And Sunderland whack it clear with Mundell. And Van Ewijk has shown a really good turn of pace for the 99th minute of the game. Chasing after that. And he's able just to work it out of play for a throw over on that far side. It was a brilliant piece of defending.
Brilliant defending, but also excellent from Mayenda as well. What are we, 100 and something minutes into the game? Still being able to run the length of the pitch, put pressure on. Just feel like they've got to use him sparingly now. But it feels like cover coming again.
Now they've got it on the left-hand side with Mason. Clark's given a shove outside the penalty area, but only just outside the penalty area. Shoulder to shoulder. He went to ground. He fell in the box. The contact is out. And it's a free kick about a foot or so to the left-hand edge of the penalty area and 8 yards from the dead ball line.
I feel like he bought that one. But that's the first one that Madley's got wrong. I don't think that's a foul at all. It's really good defending from Hume. Tell you what, this referee will do well to get out if they score from here.
Coventry setting it up with Thomas waiting, unmarked at the moment by the penalty spot. There are 2 in the wall. Kitching has gone over there to have a word with Eccles, who's going to take this. Grimes is in there. So too Radoni, just bending down with his hands on his thighs at the moment. Radoni trying to get free at the near post. In comes the delivery. And it's cleared back into the fray from Van Ewijk, and that's blocked, and the counter-attack could be on. Sakamoto makes sure that it's not, but at least it wasn't, and then Sakamoto goes down, and the referee gives Coventry another free kick, and the Sunderland player's reaction suggests that he really has bought that.
It looked like a good tackle from here again. I think the referee's been really good. He's handling this moment well as well. He's not giving a yellow card to Neil, but I thought Sakamoto was very lucky there because there was a counter-attack on for Sunderland, but the referee has given a foul. I have to see the replay, but he looked at first glance like a really good tackle.
Well, the boos and whistles are for the decision. Down Sunderland again. Have got everybody back behind the ball, and again there are 2 in the wall. It is 15 yards outside the penalty area. Mason Clark trying to just tiptoe away to the left-hand corner of the box for a swift free kick played in his direction. He's going to have time to take a touch and whip it in if he goes that way. It is played directly in instead, where it's easily headed away by Bellingham, and coming onto it, Kitching has fired a blockbuster. Certainly got the pace, but he's missed the target by 2 yards.
Yeah, if anything you'd want, if you're a Sunderland player or fan, you want that to fall to Kitchen. It's a really good ball in again from Grimes, just to that back post. Joe Bellingham gets a good header away from Thomas. He drops to Kitchen, and it's all power, no caress, no finesse. High, wide and handsome.
Now the headline, Kitching sinks Sunderland, has to live to fight another day. He's only scored once this season. That was an FA Cup goal. And not particularly close to scoring there. Some playoff occasion this. Thought that it was going to be mightily close. A lot of people fancy that it could go to extra time. Can Sunderland win it in extra time? Sliding challenge comes in, and it's a clean one on Mayenda. And I think the referee's got that one right. Coventry clear it, 09 picks it up. And he's a couple of yards inside the Coventry half. Play forward into the feet of Lefay. Lefay almost got it back again. Dan Neal trying to work it into his feet, but he played it too wide of his right foot and didn't allow him the opportunity to turn. Coventry eventually get it clear down by the corner flag and out for a throw, which is taken short. Mundell, good ball in that, and Mayenda there to attack it. It was headed away from him and over the bar for a Sunderland corner.
What a ball in for Mundell. Just feels like they've just got that little bit of quality, that little bit of spark with him. I thought just before that, the tackle that could have been a foul. Mayenda's just got to give him the ball at every opportunity. He's fresh. Let him work this Coventry back line.
In the final minute of the first period of extra time on Weir side. Sunderland 0, Coventry 1, 2-2 on aggregate. Corner taken short. High, deep ball, hung towards the far post, headed down, turned away by Van Ewijk for Coventry, out towards the far touchline, then stumbled as he put the brakes on. And the ball has beaten him and gone over the line and out for a throw, which will be taken by Sunderland. They've worked it back quickly, out towards the right-hand side. Play through by 09 through the midfield. Helped on by Ballard, who gives Lefay the instruction just to take it on. It's clipped a beautiful ball in towards the right-hand side of the penalty area. Opportunity for Sunderland on the turn with Bellingham. A minute of stoppage time added. Coventry poke it back into the danger area to be able to get it away. Grimes can clear. And it goes out of the far touchline for Mason Clark, who plays it back for Sakamoto. And now Coventry are going to be able to clear with De Silva. De Silva over on that far touchline that Coventry left. Now play just settles down again. There's a little bit more space for Eccles in the midfield. And both sides, I think, are going to indulge in a little bit of a phony war for the last 20 seconds of this first half just to get through to the turnaround. Mundle heading it on. And should go out of play, but just kept in there by Thomas. High ball hung forward from him. Headed away by 09. Bellingham's got time to turn and play it forward. Dan Neal with a good ball into the feet of Mayenda inside the centre circle. Mayenda's ball towards Chris Rigg. 15 seconds to go here before the turnaround and extra time. Mundle coming in off the left flank. Right-footed delivery from him. Headed high up in the air, and the referee says that's half-time and extra time, and still it's 1-0 to Coventry on the night. And 2-2 overall.
Well, we've still got the most important moment to come, but Mundle's a bundle of joy and fun, isn't he? I mean, I wish he was fully fit, because throughout the game, if he plays like this non-stop, it could have been something else, but he's added something to Sunderland, hasn't he?
He's got to be the only tactic that they have. Stay contained, give it to Mundle, and let him just go and do what he needs to do. I think they need to get the ball out to him a little bit faster, especially now with this right-hand side of Coventry. Have had a lot of the ball, gone forward a lot. Let's see what they're like defensively. But I do feel like little part of me, Aid, is thinking, if Asante comes on as it stretches, if you're a centre-half, you're thinking, oh no, not you. All this pace, power, just feel like the changes for Coventry are just more favourable.
Well, that's got to happen. You said pre-game that he is an impact player. Coming on as sub will be his big thing. I'd be amazed if that doesn't happen, but Coventry can be proud of their work. We haven't really talked about the goal that's giving them the victory at the moment as things stand. It's a terrific ball in from the right. I love what Mason Clark does. He hangs his foot, he gets in front of his man, hangs his foot, and it's strong enough to cushion a volley into the corner of the net. I think it's a terrific goal.
It's a terrific finish, as you say, but the nuanced part of it, Aid, is watch the flight. As that ball comes in from the right-hand side, it's very easy for an attacker to stand behind the centre-back or the right-back in this situation. He drops his shoulder to the left, then goes back in front. The defender never sees him at any point, and as you said, a little bit of quality to finesse the ball into the far corner. It's a real moment of quality of the game, and I think he's been excellent. If you ask me right now, he'd have to be man of the match, but I think he's feeling the effects of it now. Saw a few rubs on his calf and his hammies. This is all about endurance now, and as Sunderland said at the start till the end, It's that moment now. Who wants to dig in? I feel like Joe Bellingham, I feel like I'm giving him a lot of credit, has just started making long busted runs into the corner. You're like, where's this come from?
Where's the energy? He should be hitting the wall. All we had in that first period of extra time was a kitchen blockbuster that wasn't sweet. What can they deliver in the second half of extra time? Coventry 1-0, still all square on aggregate. Who's going to Wembley? Live on Talksport. Here's Troy Deeney and Jim Proudfoot.
Well, Bellingham trying to inspire a teenage rampage for Sunderland, who get the second half of extra time underway. 1-0 they trail. 2-2 the aggregate score, and no further changes made at this stage. We're 105 minutes in, and we've only seen 3 substitutes between the two teams so far. Turn by Isidore, who wins his side of throw in front of us. Throw that he's left for Chris Rigg, and Rigg picks up the ball and throws it back for Hume, so Hume can take it. You're with Talksport and also with Sirius XMFC across United States and Canada. Sunderland working it forward towards the corner of the penalty area. It's really nice control. Here's Lefay in this more central role now. Out towards the left-hand side. Big roar of expectation whenever Mundle picks the ball up. Try to play a little 1-2 back towards him, which Mundle didn't read. I think he thought it was such a good ball towards the edge of the box that shot was going to be forthcoming from Lefay, but he didn't take the responsibility. Try to go for the return ball, and it goes out of play for a Coventry goal kick.
Yeah, again, give the ball to Mundle. As you say, that expectation, that anticipation in the crowd rises. It's actually a really good ball from Mundle. I was waiting for Lefay to flip it to the back post. Very Kevin De Bruyne. First time, just don't even look, just put it in that area. Unfortunately, went for a 1-2, and I think Mundle was on the same wavelength as me.
Clearance from our right-hand side. A few more instructions being administered. I think it's Thomas Asante who's being spoken to, and he might be on. Opportunity for Coventry to bring on one of their potent weapons off the bench. Thomas Asante, who you were saying before the game you feel is better in many ways as an impact substitute rather than a starter. And he's got the chance, I think, to prove you're right. They lost in the playoff semi-finals last season with West Brom. He's due a goal. He's not got one since early February. I think he's going to be on very shortly. 13 minutes of extra time to go. The ball rolled down the right-hand side of the penalty area. Hume, it's Chris Rigg, right through the 6-yard box. And the shot that comes in from Mundle is blocked by the diving Eccles. Got his legs to it and knock it away in front of his goalkeeper, who might have been struggling. Bellingham played forward towards Lefay. Joe Bellingham's got it again. And towards the Sunderland left-hand side for Mundle. Mundle back for Bellingham. Bellingham worked through the centre of midfield. Rigg goes back for Ballard. And now Ballard bringing the ball under control, slipping it forward again. Sunderland haven't had too many spells of consistent pressure within 5-6 minute periods of this game, but they're having one now at the start of the second period of extra time. Roll forward here towards Mundle, and that's another Sunderland corner.
Sunderland in the ascendancy. I feel like the youthfulness in the midfield is starting to show that. Look, they've got more energy in there. Coventry, yes, probably got the better footballers, but that age of Grimes, he's now his legs, he's not been able to get to that press. Sunderland running all over him in midfield.
Corner to be taken on the Sunderland left. In extra time. 2-2 on aggregate. Goalkeeper comes out, punches it clear, gets it to the penalty spot. Coventry work it further outside the box. It's going to come back again. That was an effort that might have been close with a right-footed howitzer from Rigg, and then a poor challenge comes in on Grimes, and the referee is going to produce a yellow card for that for Chris Rigg.
It's a good one. It's a good one for Sunderland. Just been a little bit off it, hasn't he, Rigg, since he came on. He hasn't been able to get to the tempo of the game.
Mason Clark coming off.
I wonder if they'll go two up front here, Jim. I was just thinking with Asante coming on, do they move Hadji right to the left? Or are they going to play him off the left? Just looking where he's gone. Looks like he's gone off the left. The reason I think he's more of an impact player, Jim, is just because as the game becomes more stretched, he's one of those players who just loves to run in behind. When he was at Salford, played with a 2, so he either have to play with a big man he could get all the flick-ons on, or come later into the game when the game stretches.
Well, he has started on the left. He started the game the other night playing through the middle with Hadji right on the left, but they're the other way round now with just over 10 minutes to go before we go to penalties. Neither side have got a great penalty record. Ball played back to the Coventry goalkeeper. Wilson's kick far from convincing. Here's Neal. Played out to the left-hand side for Mundle, who's a product of the Tottenham Academy, had a spell in Belgian football before coming here, and he's lit the place up. Bellingham's got it. Neal in support for him. Bellingham having to go the long way around the referee to keep this alive and find Ballard, and Ballard will turn on halfway and go back, much to the crowd's frustration. Patterson plays it out, and O'Nien works it forward. Here's Dan Neal again, looking for the long ball forward, and he got the long part right, but he didn't angle it into the path of Hume, who turned in dismay as soon as he saw it being played and trotted back to get back in defensive position.
Yeah, that's more tired, that is, than actual lack of quality. I do love fans. We've got all the Sunderland fans in front of us. For the majority of this game, been relatively happy with them sitting in. Now they've got more of the ball. they're screaming that they should be scoring. It's second half of extra time. All the players are knackered, and they're asking for more quality now than they did in the first half. Crazy.
Yeah, that's what us fans are like. You earn your money, you lot. 60-40 in terms of possession over the course of the game, but in extra time, as Troy's alluded to, it's actually Sunderland that have had the majority of it, not by an awful lot, 53-47. Well, 22 minutes of extra time behind us, 8 to go. And the goal from Mason Clark on 76 minutes is still the difference on the night. It's a poor ball. Thomas Asante can seize upon it in the midfield. Then he'll slip it forward for Haji Wright. Radoni's in space in the middle. Wright couldn't get it across to him. And then when he's got the ball back at his feet, the free kick has been given against him.
Is that Luke O'Nien who Mickey Gray weren't having?
That was
well done, Lukey boy.
Another good defensive contribution, that, wasn't it? But the ball was on to Radoni, who was unmarked.
I don't like to hammer individuals, but Haji Wright's a lucky boy to still be on the pitch. He's been really, really poor today. That was a simple first-time pass. Radoni's 1v1. Tries to take 2 or 3, and Luke O'Nien, again, shouldn't be beating him to the ball. Should be more physical. When you look at the two of them, there's probably about a good foot between them. And Haji Wright looks more of a specimen. He's got to be more dominant there, the big man.
Well, I just wonder, with 8 minutes of extra time to go, whether the fact that he's still on the field is the fact that he's got a better penalty record than Ellis Sims, who doesn't tend to take them. Hasn't taken them in shootouts. Wright does, and has taken them in games. So maybe that is part of the thinking. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. I take that point. Again, if you're Ellis Sims, you've got to be, questioning yourself at this point. It's a big moment. Big strikers want to get on. You can't guarantee whether you're going to score or not, but you want to be on the pitch to at least have the opportunity.
He hasn't seen any action in this playoff tie at all. Didn't come on in the first leg, and still on the bench tonight. Sunderland bringing it forward down the right flank. It was a clever flick from my end around the corner. Rigg wins a throw, which is taken back for Hume. And Hume goes back 15 yards inside his own half. Ballard rolls the ball right through the centre circle to find Luke O'Nien. Raining pretty steadily here on Wearside now, and the wind at the back of Sunderland's, meteorologically and metaphorically. They've got possession over on the left-hand side. Lefay's done well, working it inside the box. Left-footed cross-come shot is blocked as Coventry have a player down inside the penalty area. Play goes on. Right-footed effort from distance is also blocked. And he comes further outside the penalty area towards Ballard. Ballard back for Neal. Ballard again. Hume. All Sunderland now. Found a second wind. And they're able to bring it forward over on the far touchline with Bellingham. Bellingham working it into the feet of Lefay. It's a good challenge from Grimes, committed himself and won it cleanly. Coventry get it forward here for Thomas Asante. Tried to draw a couple of challenges and he tried one too many. Sunderland win it back and bring it forward here. Ballard down towards Chris Rigg. Right hand side of the penalty area. Left footed delivery is an interesting one. It was well headed away by Van White, but it goes out for a corner.
Yeah, really good defending. Coventry have a problem here because Eccles has gone down from that block, that challenge he made. It looks like it's either his ankle or his knee. He tried to get back in, but the substitute looks like he's going to have to be substituted because he looks in real bad pain now.
Well, Allen probably would be the natural replacement for him. Another player who's in that game that lost a couple of years ago at Wembley, and in fact he is ready. And so it could well be Allen for Eccles.
Yeah, what you're seeing down there to our left is Frank Lampard. We're going to send the physio on, but what Frank Lampard's doing now is just making the change, just directly making the change, because if obviously he comes off the down to 10 men to defend this set piece, so Frank's just making a call and trying to get Eccles off by the looks of it.
Well, that's good thinking. Well, he will come off. He would have been a penalty taker. He's got an excellent record. Yeah. I think he's taken penalties in 6 shootouts for Coventry in his Sky Blues career and scored every single one of them. So that's a blow from a Coventry perspective as he makes his way off. He gets warm applause from the travelling Sky Blues fans after coming on 17 minutes from the end of normal time, and he's coming off 4 minutes from the end of extra time. Coming off as quickly as he can. Allen will come on. And when play resumes, it's going to be a Sunderland corner, and Frank Lampard's match management and clever thinking means that they can defend it with 11 and not 10. Sunderland to take the corner over on the far side. And that 6-yard box is a real fight scene in front of the Coventry goalkeeper, Wilson.
Just watch Luke O'Nien on the edge of the box here. Normally in the box. Looks like they tried to block Allen and the penalty spot for Luke O'Nien back post.
Well, he's standing on the edge of the D. There's nobody anywhere near it. There's big space for him. He's flicked in at the near post and comes off a Sunderland player, Sakamoto, immediately claiming that it wasn't a deflection and that it is a goal kick, and the goal kick is given. And they worked the situation to play it back to O'Nien and chose not to.
Poor, yeah, decided to cross it, but again, doesn't even reach the edge of the 6-yard box. Can't stand it when set piece takers try and whip the life out of the ball. In this moment, create jeopardy, insert jeopardy into this game. Just hit a nice little ball to the penalty spot and say, go and attack that and see what happens from it.
You're listening to Sunderland Coventry in EFL Game Day Live on Talksport with McDonald's. Order McDelivery on the app and get rewards points. 18 plus participating restaurants. Delivery fees and terms apply. See mcdonalds.com. Sakamoto just in the ball now. Knocked away easily by the Sunderland defenders. Thomas heading it forward and then nodded back behind him. And Allen's touch was rescued by Thomas. He's gone back for Wilson. Wilson just makes sure that he gets height on the clearance. He didn't get an awful lot of distance, but he made sure that he didn't pass it straight out to a Sunderland player. Bellingham's won the second ball in the midfield though, and he plays it out to the Sunderland left where Mundell tries to work it down the line. That doesn't come off. Radoni is in there. It's a cannon back off him. He'll chase after it manfully, but Patterson was the overwhelming favourite and gets there first. We've got 90 seconds of extra time to go. Might have as many as 3 minutes added at the end of this second period of extra time. Still time for either side to win it before it goes to penalties.
Yeah, you feel again, like the end of the first half, you feel there's a chance coming. Again, just watching Joe Bellingham making those long busting runs. We talk about his brother doing it, but where the energy comes from this family, I don't know.
I think it's the first time in the game that it really feels like if there's going to be a winner, it will come from Sunderland and not Coventry.
Yeah, absolutely. Coventry trying to just get control of the game. It's actually got a little bit worse since Asante's came on, hasn't it? They've lost a little bit of structure, a little bit of shape. They haven't been able to get him running at this back line like they would have wanted to.
We're in the 120th minute. And Coventry will bring it forward. They've got such a good record this season of scoring late important goals in the league. Here's Thomas Asante. He's gone for goal and it's well wide of the near post, but primarily that's because of a deflection off Hume. And it is a corner and a chance to win it for the Sky Blues.
And that's what he offers you. Look, that ball down the side from Grimes. Ricochets up, but he's always there for the knockdowns. As soon as he gets a touch at his feet, he only has one thing in his mind: get this shot off, try and score that goal. Deflected. Massive chance for Coventry.
Over the course of the regular season, they won 15 points with goals in the last 15 minutes of games. We're in the 120th minute. Goal now, and they're at Wembley. In it comes, deep towards the edge of the 6-yard box. He's headed over the bar. It was a difficult chance because it got big on Thomas more quickly than he anticipated. It's come off his forehead and gone over the bar, and there are 2 extra minutes.
Yeah, again, looking down at the benches, looks like Sunderland looking to make some changes. And now do you start going into that Gareth Southgate territory where you put on what you think is your best penalty takers?
Well, Kjelder is going to come on. So he'll replace Sirkin. Not sure what Leo Kjelder's penalty record is like in training. He's only ever scored 1 senior goal in his career. So Kjelder on at left back, or as a makeshift left back. He's a centre half. He has played at left back, in fairness. The fact that he's going to be there for the last 2 minutes won't cause any undue alarm. Actually just staying in, and they're playing with a back 3 really, Sunderland, for the time that remains. Ball played forward, Mayenda going up for it. Sunderland win it. Play down the line. Lafay chasing after it. Cleared by Coventry. Had a play for a Sunderland throw. Hume's taking it quickly. Goes into the feet of the 17-year-old Chris Rigg. Back towards Hume. Time to measure the cross. Tadisa one. Headed away. Great defending by Thomas, because that might have fallen Mundle's way. He heads it behind, and Sunderland have a corner in the 122nd minute of the game.
Bobby Thomas, what a header. He has just saved the game there for Coventry, because that's 100% a goal. What a ball. Are we about to see something dramatic, Jim?
Well, the roof will come off if this goes in.
Just, as I said, insert jeopardy. Just field it. Don't try and whip it. Just field it into the box.
Corner to be taken from the Sunderland left. They're 1-0 down on the night. If they score here, it'll be an aggregate winner. It won't be any time. Ball in. Oh, it is in. It's Dan Ballard. You've hardly seen a moment of euphoria like this at the Stadium of Light since it was built. Ball in towards the near post. Ballard's there off the underside of the bar and in. And Sunderland have won it in the 123rd minute of the game. Sunderland won. Coventry City won. 3-2 on aggregate. Heartbreak for the Sky Blues. Sunderland are going to Wembley. They're 90 minutes away from a return to the Premier League. They could not have left it any later. It could not have been more dramatic. Dan Ballard, a hero for life on Wearside.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Dan Ballard, what a header. We're not going to talk about how good of a header this is. A wonderful ball in. And he's just attacked it, headed it, underside of the bar and in. And I must say, I'm getting ready for the summer, but he looks in some good nick, doesn't he, the boy, when he takes that top off. The scenes. We are privileged to watch this. Unbelievable.
Everywhere you looked, limbs. Stunning. What a way to win a playoff semi-final. You thought that they left it late in the first leg. Could not have left it any later here tonight. There's barely going to be time for Coventry to kick off. You play a game the way that Coventry have tonight. So many chances they couldn't take. You have a season of 46 matches, of 2 playoff games, and it ends like that. Coventry players fall to their knees. Sunderland players race over towards the south stand, and they are instantly mobbed by the Black Cat supporters. This is a night that nobody here will ever forget, whichever side of the coin you're on. The smell of sulphur thick in the air with smoke bombs going off all over the place. The odd isolated supporter make their way onto the pitch and are led away. This is proper 24-karat euphoria. The playoffs, what an extraordinary, wonderful invention. Because you win a game like this, it stays with you for the rest of your life. Dan Ballard, the hero. He's only ever scored 9 goals in his professional career. But he's just smacked a header off the underside of the bar that takes Sunderland to Wembley, where they'll beat Sheffield United for the right to play Premier League football again next season. And you have to feel sorry. A moment of consolation for those in Sky Blue. who after the first leg defeat knew that they had to win in 90 minutes here tonight, and they did that. They took it to extra time. But it was Sunderland that were the stronger as the finishing line approached. And ultimately the Coventry players will leave the field in dejection and tears, mirrored by their counterparts away to our left. Those Coventry City players taking the applause. They were 17th when Frank Lampard took over. They were within seconds of getting to a penalty shootout in a playoff semi-final. It just wasn't meant to be. This is Sunderland's night. And how? Sunderland won, Coventry won after extra time. 3-2, the aggregate score in Sunderland's favour.
Football never ever change. Whatever you think about the season, the quality, whatever you think about tactics, it's still got drama. It's still the best thing ever. And playoffs, you absolutely glorious thing of beauty. Magnificent. Love it. There's idiots on the pitch who don't need to be there, and there's a lot of chasing around going on. Sunderland players actually ran to the fans to start with, and now the fans have gone on to the pitch. The Coventry players are still out there. And it's a situation and a scene that absolutely needs to be controlled, Troy Deeney.
Absolutely, because the problem you've got bigger than that is you've got a young man here now, got his phone, and he's taunted the Cov players. If he gets walloped, he probably deserves it. But what's happening now is you're asking the professionals who have just lost the game right at the last minute to now be emotionally in control. There's nowhere near enough stewards, and I don't really want to talk about it. But this is not nice, because this is a quick moment where one of these Cov players loses their head, and he takes away from this whole moment. What a scene! This is what football's all about. Get these Coventry players off the pitch as quick as you can. And you 100 Sunderland fans, get back off where you need to be, because the ones all in front of us have been excellent. And one final thing, Aid, sorry for my rant. Why are these stewards just stood there? If you're getting paid, granted, you don't want to get whacked, but stop people getting onto the pitch. That's your job.
Well, there's got to be a better way of policing it. I mean, some Sunderland fans are still spilling over the hoardings and getting onto the pitch, knee sliding on the pitch. The Coventry players are now away from it. They're protected. I think they should just get down the tunnel. I think they've said thanks to their fans, and I'm not having a go at them at all, but I just think it's best all round if they just get down the tunnel and get out of the vicinity. But the real situation, the real issue here is that the Sunderland fans should not be on the pitch. Listen, it looks like they're starting to contain it, but the policing of that was absolutely shocking. And there's another fan, just gets on the pitch, runs over and thinks he's some sort of saviour of the day. Knee slide on the edge of the penalty area as he goes between two stewards, top off. Absolute moron. They are now heading towards the stands, and we can talk about the drama that we've seen here tonight, because it looked like we were heading to pens. I was just getting some stats and facts together about penalty takers, penalty shootouts. I might even have mentioned Fankati Darbo. But we didn't have to have that. Corner comes in. Coventry will have so many regrets about the defending at the corner, because they have left a big old unit of a centre-half completely free to head the ball onto the underside of the bar and into the back of the net. That defending, I don't know if they're going to review it or just let it go for the summer, but if they do review it, there will be some eyes looking at that from a Coventry defensive point of view and thinking, what on earth were we thinking?
Yeah, absolutely. But do you know what, Aid? Who cares? It's all about Sunderland. What a moment. I said to Jim just before, it felt like there was a crescendo building. Those players for Sunderland have dug in all the way through. And the cross before, it just felt like, just put it in the area, let them go and attack it, put some jeopardy in there. And Big Dad Ballard goes in, bang. And I've been in some moments. I've never been here as a neutral, as a football fan, to enjoy it. That's one of the best moments of my life. I hope my missus listening to this. That's unbelievable.
Well, you do know you were involved in a similar moment yourself, right?
I know, but you're playing. It doesn't feel the same. I've got no skin in the game here. I'm just, as a fan, enjoying it. Honoured to be here. Jim, unbelievable, mate. Unbelievable.
Well, the mantra here all season has been till the end. And if you score as late as that, you've done it right at the end. There is no way back for Coventry. As soon as that goes in, there are only 2 more touches till the end, personified, exemplified by that Dan Ballard header. Yeah, there will be a huge amount of regret as far as Coventry are concerned, but what a way to win it, because I think over 210 minutes of football, Coventry were the better team. I don't think Sunderland really had too many spells on top, and they hadn't scored here since about 1986. That's how it felt for the Sunderland supporters. But 462 minutes of goal drought just counted for nothing when that Dan Ballard header hit the underside of the bar and went in.
I tell you what, they'd go another 400 for a moment like that, though, wouldn't they?
Well, those are the moments you live for. As football supporters, those are the moments. Because you can look back, whoever you support, you'll be able to think of 8, 10 real defining moments, that I was there moments, or I know where I was when I heard that, when I saw that. This is one of those in the fabric of Sunderland Football Club. Now, whatever happens at Wembley, that will always be remembered. That moment from Dan Ballard. Everybody here looking up to the heavens, expressions of disbelief. They just can't believe what they've seen. They can't believe that they're at Wembley. They can't believe, though, primarily the way they have done it.
Well, they're starting a light show. They're singing the songs, and actually round the perimeter hoardings, which have been controversially moved in, it says till the end. And the advice is at Wembley for the playoff final, live on Talksport in 11 days' time, do not leave before the end, because it's Sunderland. Listen, they tried their gamesmanship with those hoardings. They actually nudged up the temperature to an unbearable heat in the away dressing room tonight, and it worked. It clearly worked. The gamesmanship worked from a Sunderland point of view. They will be heading to Wembley. They will be taking on Sheffield United in the Championship playoff final, and the winner will go to the Premier League. The celebrations are continuing and will go on and on through the night. Jim Proudfoot, Troy Deeney, thank you very much. Newcastle have had their Wembley day out. Sunderland are away to get their suits measured. Sports Bar next on Talksport. 03717 223344.